right.
Okay. Should be good.
Yep, let me
Yep.
find that link. Yep, it exists. Okay. Um, let's put it out there. Okay.
I see us with our very professionally made thumbnail.
Nice.
16-0-1 Panthers, I believe.
Some news and boom.
All
All
right.
right.
We've done the advertising. Or you've done the advertising.
Yep, I sure have.
All right.
Okay. Let me just I'll set this up on my phone just in case anyone pops by so I can see. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I think we are ready to rock and roll.
Cool. And I've got chat in OBS, but if anyone appears, I can get on my phone to
Nice.
talk. So we are set there too. All right.
Great.
Let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Football for Fun. I am Depressed, the Texans fan.
I am Delusional, the Panthers fan. Welcome on in, everybody. This is actually our last episode together for a long time, so this is gonna be a good one. You can have no doubt.
That is true, yes. It will be our last one together. Not sure how well known that is, but for the next few months after this, it'll just be me, and maybe I'll bring on some guests or something like that. But most likely, for the most part, it'll be a one-man show. So we'll see sort of how that goes, and yeah, then he'll be back in the thick of football season, which will kind of be the perfect time to come back. I mean, maybe perfect would be like week 1 or something like that, but I think it'll be like October or something like that. So there'll still be a lot of stuff to sort of cover. But
Yeah, I'll be
yeah,
back when we are
definitely.
the 7-0 Panthers taking on the Bills. So that's when I'm gonna be back, of course, and I'll be here to
Yeah,
tell you all I
that
told you
totally
so.
works. Yeah, definitely. So
Definitely, totally.
little bittersweet. It'll be sad, but I'm also excited for the challenge of trying to grow this channel without you. We're gonna hit like 10K subscribers, and
Yeah,
then you'll come. It's like,
yeah. It'll be
what?
my fault. If I had just disappeared sooner.
We're getting monetized now? Like what?
What did I
But
miss?
I know.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna touch on some news, like some recent news that's happened in the NFL, and then what you all came here for, which is going to be our NFL predictions, predicting all 272 games on the NFL season.
Yeah, so we'll just have a few
And
things we want to talk about beforehand. It won't take long, don't worry. We won't delay it too much, but there are some things that happened in the NFL this past week that we want to cover. So we will give our takes on that.
yep, definitely. I do think most appropriate first thing to talk about real quick, just got this news maybe an hour or two ago, is the passing of Jim Irsay. Obviously, rest in peace. Our hearts go out to him. Even as a Texans fan, it's not really appropriate to use this, to like make fun of the Colts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had a little bit of a crazy reputation, but also I feel like on the whole he had a good ownership career, I think. I mean, he was the owner when like Peyton Manning won the
Yeah,
Super Bowl and like did that like mini dynasty and things like that. So overall I think, he was like very intriguing owner for sure, but overall just
he seemed like
good
quite the
stuff.
character. He seemed fun.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's gonna be missed by the Colts fans and that organization. So rest in peace to Colts owner Jim Irsay. Uh, Anthony Richardson gonna
Definitely.
break out in his honor, right?
Yeah, that's how it'll go. No, Anthony Richardson's gonna be Peyton Manning 2.0 at this
Right.
point. You just watch and see. But yeah, he died at 65, which is pretty young. I think it was 65 if I read
Yeah,
that
I think so.
correctly.
He's younger
Was
than
the
I thought.
cause? Yeah, was the cause found out or not really?
I haven't haven't looked into it myself. I read that he passed in his sleep peacefully, so that's good at least. But
Yeah.
I don't know anything more than that.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's all processing, but
Right.
yeah. It was a little bit on the more shocking side. Like if you told me that an NFL owner is going to pass away today, like Jim Irsay would not have been up there as far as my top guesses. So, obviously, rest in peace to him, his family, the Colts organization, and I'm not sure. I've not looked into what this means for the future ownership of the Colts. I guess it would go to his kids or his benefactors, however it works.
I think so.
You
That's
know, so I'm not sure.
usually what
I'll just say
happens.
I just don't know who the next owner of the Colts is, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
For sure. For sure.
All right. Um, so with that said, I think some topics we can talk about. I think the first major news that came out, if you want to start recording, you could do that.
Yeah, I was just about
The
to.
first Okay, cool. I think the first major news that came out since we last had our episode is Brock Purdy getting extended,
Mhm.
which I should have the numbers in front of me, but wasn't it like 4 years, 265 million? Is that
That
correct?
sounds right. It was 53 million a year. I thought
Yes.
yeah, a lot of people are shouting overpay. What do you think about that? Do you think he was overpaid?
So what I kind of said in my short, which you should go check out, I'm sure there will be a link somewhere, is that 53 million a year sounds like a lot, but I do think you have to consider a few things. By the way, what's up, Devin? Thank you, I appreciate it. But I think what you have to consider is that I mean the quarterback market is only going to go up even further. So yes, 53 million might sound like you're breaking the bank for a not mid quarterback, but he's not quite elite necessarily. But quarterbacks are only going to get more expensive. So you could see like maybe 2 or 3 years, this
Right.
could start to look more team friendly just in like a few years. I also do think if you're the Niners, like if you don't extend him this year, he's only going to be more expensive next year unless he like absolutely sucks, which I don't think you don't really want to rely on that. But also, I think the chances that he just sucks is very low. And so, if you don't extend him, this year, you run that risk. But then if you don't extend him like at all, like if you just let him walk, then like, what are your options at quarterback? Like,
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah,
that
that's what I
great
want to
compared to
hear from
Brock
all the
Purdy.
haters who say they shouldn't pay him. Well, what do you want the 49ers to do at quarterback, Because there aren't any free agents available. If you want to draft a guy next year, fine, you're just going to have to tank the next season, which I think would be insane. I don't know if you've seen their schedule and we'll get into it, but they probably will win the NFC West. I think there's a very good chance of that, more so than people
Mm,
realize with the schedule they've been given. Um, this is a
yeah, no,
season
I
where
think
they are competing, not tanking. So Purdy at quarterback is going to give them that chance. And it's like you said, it's a lot of money, but the price is only going to keep going up. Imagine what Stroud is going to do to you guys in a couple seasons.
I know Stroud's gonna break the like 60 mil a year mark or something like that. I feel it, but yeah, no, those are all some really good points. I mean, again, like I mean, if you're not committed to him, then like who would you get? Like, you're not gonna find a Brock Purdy 2.0. I mean, or you can't count on it. Like
You were fortunate enough to get him in the
maybe
first time around.
I know maybe like you could make an argument that like Kyle Shanahan could do something with Mac Jones as a long term starter, but that doesn't really make sense to just kind of trust
Yeah,
that
why would
that's
you
going to
why would you
happen.
bank on that? It wouldn't be logical.
Well, I think the idea is that Kyle Shanahan really liked Mac Jones out of
Mm,
college, so he might just be making the argument like maybe they have similar playing styles. I still feel like Mac Jones might have like some untapped potential because he was just in bad situations in New England and Jacksonville. So maybe in a good organization he could make like a Sam Darnold type jump. I'm not
sure.
necessarily predicting it. I don't really think it's gonna happen, but I'm just trying to say that might be the other argument that some fans might make, like if you want to like move on for Brock Purdy.
Yeah, but you're taking you're taking a big risk, and you maybe you're going to be awful in that scenario. But there are a lot of people I've seen point out that they've been able in the past to just put in any quarterback and they're going to move the offense. But that was the 49ers 2 years ago before Purdy. When they had Jimmy G playing, or when they would have someone else come in to fill in for Jimmy G, the offense would still function just fine. This is not the 2023 San Francisco 49ers anymore. They've had some losses to that team, and some players have gotten older. It's not the same anymore. Right now, they're good, not great. That's what I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And you kind of need someone like Brock Purdy to sort of like be able to steer the ship and stabilize things. And one other anecdote I did want to mention is that so where does Brock Purdy rank? Is he like about like sixth or seventh highest paid quarterback, like APY, something like that?
I don't know where exactly. I mean, he's in the top 10.
It's
So.
about that. So he's not like the highest. I don't think he's even like second or third. I think he's like fifth or sixth. Like Josh Allen's ahead of him,
Yeah.
Dak's ahead of him.
He took less than he could have taken, for sure.
So like once upon a time, Jimmy Garoppolo was the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. So if you want to be upset that you're making Brock Purdy the like fifth or sixth highest rated quarterback, then yeah, once upon a time Jimmy Garoppolo was the highest paid quarterback. Well, I think NFL history. I mean, you know how it goes. Like everyone's like the.
There have been
NFL
a lot
history,
of quarterbacks with that mantle so far.
Right. It would be interesting just to like do the research and see like which quarterbacks have had that sort of distinction. Like I remember it was Stafford, I think Flacco for a second, and then like Dak. I said like pretty much any Trevor probably at some point. I don't know Trevor necessarily, but I'm sure he was up there. But
I don't even know at this
yeah.
point.
Anyway,
There have been so many different names, but
I know
yeah,
it's like the
it's
most.
crazy.
It's the most meaningless. Well, not literally meaningless, like you're being paid generational wealth, but it's the most like meaningless like award basically. Like highest paid quarterback in NFL history. Like it should mean something. Like if you're the highest paid like I don't know, car salesman in, world history, that's going to be like a, huge distinction, but well, I mean, I don't know, maybe you could argue in like other economies is the same, but I don't know, but anyway, but yeah, so Brock Purdy extended. He will be the 49ers quarterback to stay. And I also do think it is good. Obviously, it's good for Brock Purdy, and I think it's also good for the Niners. So I think it's a very much a win-win situation. Maybe if you're Brock Purdy's camp, you could have maybe like tried to get a little bit more, like squeeze a little bit more.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna
also
say,
I think
because you could argue he's been the better quarterback compared to Dak Prescott for the past couple of years, and Dak Prescott is making closer to 60 million, right? Or I think he might have gotten to 60 million. So if he wanted to, he probably could have pushed for that. Maybe not past that or get to that, but he could have gotten more than he got if he wanted to. I think that he was probably more reasonable about it, though.
I think he was, and I think at the end of the day, like ultimately Brock Purdy, and I think this is one unique experience he has that someone like Trevor Lawrence wouldn't have, which is that Brock Purdy was the last pick of the draft, so his salary out of the NFL was like I don't even know, was it even $1 million? I mean, I guess
I don't think it was.
Like,
I think eventually he got there, but it took a while.
I mean, he got there with like endorsements and probably bonuses and stuff like that. But like,
right.
Presumably he was making like less than $1 million from playing. I mean, and like that's also in California where taxes are high. So I'm sure, like, wasn't he like living with a roommate or something like while he was playing in San Francisco?
I think at some point that was a story that people were talking about.
Yeah. So he's like literally getting generational wealth. Like he probably didn't feel the need to just like push for every last penny. So yeah, really interesting stuff. Brock Purdy extended. Brock Purdy is here to stay.
I think in a season or two, we're going to come to view this as a win-win, and ultimately, good for Purdy. Mr. Irrelevant got paid. I think that's a really good story. You want an underdog story? This is an underdog story. Even if you hate the 49ers and them being such a successful franchise, this is still an underdog story for Brock Purdy, so good for him.
Definitely. The underdog story continues. We'll see if the 49ers can go to more Super Bowls, maybe win another Super Bowl, but Brock Purdy got his payday, and that's just one of his prime accomplishments that he will have been going for. So good for him. Good for Brock Purdy.
All right.
All right. We want to talk about another NFL figure that got extended.
All right. Nick Sirianni got extended. I don't know the details. I think it was a 3-year extension. Is that right?
I just heard multi-year. I mean, maybe it got
Okay.
updated. So the thing with the coach extensions, unlike the player extensions, you don't really know details. Like we don't know how much Nick Sirianni made. It's a little weird. Like I would think that you would think that like coaches and players, it's like fair game. Well, okay, one, it's weird. This is a totally different topic, but it's weird that Andy Reid doesn't make like 30 million a year, right? Because like he's probably making like what 15 to 18, but he's
Hmm.
gonna be way more valuable than players like Chris Jones and like just not Mahomes. I think Mahomes is
Right.
probably more valuable than Reed, but like a really good coach is gonna be more valuable than a lot of players on their team that are making more than them. Is the point I'm trying to make. But that aside, Nick Sirianni was extended. Again, the details aren't that well known, and I think obviously Nick Sirianni is a very intriguing NFL coach because it wasn't that long ago. I think it was off
Last
season
season.
of this year.
Last season, he
Yeah,
was
like
on the hot
last
seat by
year.
a lot of people.
He was on the hot seat, and like, there were legitimate questions like, are the Eagles going to fire Sirianni or are they going to keep him? Is Belichick going to go to the Eagles? I think people forget that. But
That was a fun time.
and even during the season, they were struggling. I think they were 2-2. They got destroyed by the Buccaneers, and it was just kind of like like okay, if he doesn't win, I do remember vividly, like they're going to a game versus Cleveland, and it was like if they don't like win that game versus Cleveland, things are gonna get weird. And they won, but it was like very close, so it was like okay, here we go. But obviously he and the team, and there was just other stuff going on, like AJ Brown was like saying that like the passing game like wasn't at its best, like
Hmm.
it felt like the locker room was kind of turning on, but somehow he just steered the ship and the team willed their way to a playoff run, and ultimately a Super Bowl victory. So Isaac, what do you think? Nick Sirianni, do you think he deserved to be extended? And what do you think about him overall as a coach? Because he's a very intriguing sort of figure.
So I think he definitely earned the extension. Your team wins the Super Bowl, you're a part of that. I don't know how big of a part of that he is. Sort of like Andy Reid, obviously crucial to the Chiefs' success for the past decade. Sirianni, I feel like we still don't really know. Like, the fact he was even on the hot seat at all is kind of crazy, but maybe that's just Philadelphia for you. I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
but I think he earned an extension, and just by winning the Super Bowl, that's a great accomplishment. You're never going to take that away from him. I don't know how to view him as a coach. I really don't. I
Mm,
think we've seen some moments from him where he just seems immature, and I'm sure you can probably think of sometimes lashing out of, not lashing out per se, but some things that have been said to
yes.
fans by him, and comments he makes. And I don't know. It's like you've got him, like average Philadelphia fan basically, and then you've got Jalen Hurts, his calm, cool presence, kind of the opposite. Um, you kind of get what I mean, right?
Yes, for sure.
So we've seen that,
No, yeah, I
but
do.
he's getting
Yeah,
success. That's
they
if he's getting
definitely
success, that's what matters.
right. I mean, ultimately, yeah. Sorry, I'll cut this out in the video. But like, okay, so I said the reason I said Jimmy in the chat is because I wrote it down to like try and make a mental note to myself to like talk about something, and then I accidentally hit send when he said hi guys. So Packers fan, how's it going? Sorry that I replied to that with Jimmy. That was so random, I'm sure, but I was just saying hi. Just don't worry about that. But yes, Nick Sirianni. I mean, clearly he has had NFL success. Like, I mean, now you could argue like I think a question that a lot of fans ask is like, what does he do? Like, he's not really an offensive or defensive guy. Is he just like, does he just have like TED talks in the locker room? Like, what exactly is he doing? But it is clear that he's had success as a coach. He's been to two Super Bowls, won one of them, and just I think maybe first year they didn't make the playoffs, or did they make the playoffs? I don't
I'm
remember,
not
but
sure.
because there was a season where they struggle. I think it was okay. So I think 2020 was Doug Pearson's last season, or second to last. When they tanked in that Sunday night football game. They benched Jalen Hurts for Nate Sudfeld.
I
Um,
vaguely remember that. I remember being quite unhappy about that.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty funny thing because like Carson Wentz, I think was on the team. He got benched, so they were like riding Jalen Hurts. But then on national TV, they just benched Jalen Hurts in like a game-winning situation for like Nate
And
Sudfeld
that was to keep
because he needed
somebody out
more
of the
reps.
playoffs, right?
I believe so.
Because
I think kept the
somehow the
Giants
Giants
out
were
of play.
connected, and it was like out of
Yes.
spite to the Giants, very blatantly too. It was so funny but so wrong.
I remember like Giants fans were upset, but it was like y'all were like 6-10. You shouldn't be complaining, like because that was the weird year where like the Commanders went to the playoffs with a
7 wins, 8 wins.
7-9 record, and then they lost to the Bucks. It was actually a pretty good game. Okay, I do
Oh
remember
yeah,
that,
the
but
Taylor
was
Heineke
that?
versus Tom Brady playoff game. That was good.
Yes, right. That was actually a pretty good game. I remember watching that. But I don't remember if that was Doug's last season or second to last season. But
Probably his
I think that was
last.
2020. So I think in 21. I think that was his last. 'Cause I think it was in 21 when Doug got fired, and the Eagles went 9-8, I think, and kind of surprised everyone. They made the playoffs and then lost to Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
That Tom Brady team. Tom Brady's like last like really good team, like where they played the Rams in the second round, and like if they covered Cooper Cup, then they might have made the Super Bowl.
Right.
Right. So, anywho, a lot of memories to talk about for sure. But I think all of that to say, Nick Sirianni had success just from the ground up, right? So you could kind of argue like he's probably not like a top 5 coach. You could maybe argue like is he even top 10, but he's clearly successful. Um, I do actually want to do an activity real quick. Are you up for it? This shouldn't take very long,
All
I don't
right, let's
think.
do it.
I mean, it might if we do you want to. Okay, so and I was actually thinking about doing that was the video I was trying to do earlier, but then like I just like got caught up on other things, which is that basically Nick Sirianni versus the world is essentially the concept. So I name a coach, and would you rather have Nick Sirianni or this coach?
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm curious based off that where we sort of rank him. Are you ready? I have the list of coaches here. I can just name them if you're
All right,
ready.
let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Some of these will be slam dunk. Some of them will be pretty sort of debatable. Nick
Sure.
Sirianni or his former assistant Jonathan Gannon.
I'll take Sirianni.
Fair enough. Nick Sirianni or Raheem Morris.
Sirianni.
Yep. All right, Nick Sirianni or John Harbaugh.
Uh, oh jeez. I mean,
I think I'd take John, just for the record.
that's so difficult. I feel like if John Harbaugh's Ravens were in the NFC, they would have won a Super Bowl in the past 5 years. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
because they would have at least made it to the Super Bowl. Maybe not won it, but they would have made it.
No, John Harbaugh's teams would be like the team to beat in the NFC, even have like the Lions or like those
Where I'm
Niner
stuck
teams.
is he keeps failing in the playoffs, and I get that you have to go through the Chiefs, but
Mhm.
it's usually their own fault. They abandon the run or do something they shouldn't do. That's
That's fair.
uncharacteristic. And I wonder, I mean, some of that has to come out of the coaching. Meanwhile, you've got Sirianni's Eagles who just beat the crap out of the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Recency bias would say
Yeah,
Sirianni,
no,
but
that is
it's hard for me to really say that.
yeah.
As a
Those are
if
good
they were going to
points.
coach the Panthers, I think I'd lean Harbaugh just for the longer period of success.
Yes. It is and John Harbaugh is a Super Bowl champion just from like
Yeah,
over a decade ago, right?
with Flacco in
Um,
2012 or 2013.
right, 20. Yeah, I think it was that 2012 to 13 playoff run. I think Harbaugh, but I'm just like I think most fans would probably say like Harbaugh. So I think if you put Harbaugh on the Eagles, he probably like wins a Super Bowl. Like
You would
on
think that.
on those like Eagle teams, like
And then on
yeah.
the other hand, if Sirianni goes to the Ravens for the past few years, does he win a Super Bowl? Because the Ravens, I feel
Sirianni
like
goes to the Ravens.
they they're not too. I mean,
Very
they're
interesting.
very comparable to the Eagles. I would say the Eagles might have a more
Yeah,
complete team, but Ravens have the better quarterback, and I don't know.
no, you're right. Um, I'm inclined to go Harbaugh, unless you're like really
I like
convicted
Harbaugh just for
otherwise.
the longer period of success that he's
Yeah,
shown. I'd like to
I
see
think
him
more
break through
sustained
though.
success. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Nick Sirianni. So that's so far that's one coach that's ahead of Nick. So we'll try to roughly keep track. Nick Sirianni or Sean McDermott.
Sean McDermott is another guy who just can't break through. I have to go with
Yeah.
Sirianni. I feel like because he actually has broken through.
Yeah. When I was making the original video, that was tough And ultimately, I kind of think that Sean McDermott has Josh Allen, and that's a huge reason why he's that good. And like I think Jalen Hurts, like I mean, he's clearly pretty good, but I think maybe now he's a little overrated because like he's a Super Bowl champion now. Like he might be top 10. He might. I think he is top 10, but Josh Allen's like top 2. I think Jalen Hurts is like borderline like 9, 10, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I probably. I mean, yeah, you could probably like. Yeah, I guess I would be inclined to go Sirianni.
Because
I
Sirianni's
probably
actually
agree
won
with
a
you.
Super Bowl. We gotta keep that in mind.
That's true.
McDermott
All
hasn't broke
right.
through.
So that's still only one coach ahead of Sirianni. All right, Nick Sirianni or Dave Canales?
Uh, Canales hasn't proven anything. I gotta go Sirianni. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure as a Panthers fan, you're cool with Canales just coaching your team, but yeah, I
I'm
probably
very
agree with
happy with
there.
Canales. Just to be clear.
Okay, this could be a little bit intriguing. I think there's a clear answer, but I am actually curious. Nick Sirianni or Ben Johnson?
Oh man. Well, Ben Johnson hasn't proven he can be a head coach, so I can't say Ben Johnson, even though
Yeah,
I do believe he is going to end up being the better
agreed.
coach. Sirianni.
Probably. I would say like it would be a little bit ridiculous to like put someone who's. I mean, we do understand Ben Johnson was a really good coordinator, but
It's
he
still
hasn't
possible
proven
he
it.
fails as a coach, for all we know. But
Yep. All right, Nick Sirianni or Zach Taylor?
Sirianni. Zach Taylor
I
is
probably
like, if Zach Taylor had won that Super Bowl, Cincinnati, he would be what Sirianni currently is.
yes. Right, I would agree with that.
Except he
Yeah,
actually
I don't
keeps his
even
cool on
know.
the field. So
Like Zach Taylor has a lot of like has like Joe Burrow and Chase. I don't know if he's that good, honestly. Like he went to a Super Bowl, yay! Like I don't know. All right, Nick Sirianni or two-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski?
oh, Stefanski is so difficult to figure out because he's stuck in Cleveland. I feel like he's
Yes.
gonna end up being like Mike Vrabel in Tennessee. You know, like he obviously a very good
Mhm.
coach, but someone's gonna have to take the fall because the team continues to lose every year. So he's gonna get fired and then get a second chance somewhere else and be very good. That being said, I feel like I kind of have to go with Sirianni just because he's won a Super Bowl.
I guess what you would ask what you would kind of think though is like if you put Kevin Stefanski on those past like what 3 or 4 Eagles teams, do you think he gets at least a Super Bowl? Because I kind of like because like I mean I do like give Stefanski credit like last year or I mean the year before I guess technically you took Deshaun Watson Joe Flacco combo to the playoffs like to an
Right.
11-5 record or 11-6 record. I do think there is a chance he's really good, but we just don't know because he's stuck in Cleveland, as you say.
That's where I'm stuck at. We don't know. We haven't seen how far he can fly because he's stuck in Cleveland. So I really look forward
Yeah,
to the day he is fired and gets to go to a real organization who gives him a good chance at
I
playoff
know
success.
that's
I'm
actually
sorry,
gonna be
Cleveland.
really intriguing. Like, yeah, right. Next year, if he gets fired and like I don't even know who the top openings would be. That'll be a whole other discussion. But yeah, I guess if Sirianni is the first instinct, you do like that's probably the case. But it does seem
Sirianni
like there's a
having
good
that Super
chance.
Bowl win changes everything. Like, a year ago, I would have said Stefanski, but because Sirianni has
Yeah,
actually led a team to a Super Bowl victory, and in a few years, I might look back on this and go, "Yeah, that's a terrible take." Like Doug Peterson at one point won a Super Bowl, and now I don't think anybody wants him.
right.
So this is
Yeah, for
definitely
sure. No, he
recency
got
bias affecting some answers here. There's no denying that. But as of right now, I mean, obviously he's played a good
yeah.
part in Philadelphia's Super Bowl success. So
Yeah, so probably I guess we'll say Sirianni for now.
yeah.
Okay. This one is gonna be pretty debatable. I'm actually curious how we approach this. There's actually a division rival, Nick Sirianni or Brian Schottenheimer.
Sirianni.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never proven anything, probably not that good. Okay, this one actually might be interesting. Nick Sirianni or Sean Payton?
Well, I hate Sean Payton. I hate him. Give me Sirianni. I would it look as a
Wow.
Panthers fan, if I could choose between those two coaches, I would sooner hire Sirianni than Sean Payton.
Okay, I have to heartily disagree. I'm sorry. I
That's
think Sean
okay.
Payton's way better.
That's okay.
No, Sean
I think
Payton
he's
took a
overrated for what it's
Bronco.
worth, but that's just me.
Well, there's bias, so I'm going to make an executive decision that we take Sean Payton. Well, I mean, okay, I'll state my argument real quick, which is that he did take a relatively talentless Broncos team and like made them 9-8, took them to the playoffs, and like, which again, he is a Super Bowl champion, but that is from like over a decade ago. I do recognize that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, he's Super Bowl champion, but like, I think he has had like a lot of like brilliant years with like Breeze. Breeze, I felt like was like kind of physically limited. Like obviously Breeze in his own right is like one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. I mean, maybe not like top 5, like top 10 to 20 ish in that range, you might say, but I think Sean Payton is. I would definitely, and I think if Sean Payton were on those Eagles team, he probably wins. Super Bowls.
As a Saints
So
hater, I will say
sorry.
Drew Brees is probably top 10 all time at least. Just,
Okay,
he's so
that's fair. Okay,
underappreciated. It's ridiculous. As a Panthers
all right.
fan
So
and Saints
that
hater,
is
I hate that. He's so underappreciated.
That's 2 coaches ahead of Sirianni. All right, Nick Sirianni or Dan Campbell?
Oh man. Um, I mean, I love Dan Campbell. Despite Sirianni's Super Bowl last year, I would probably, if Panthers have a head coach opening, I would want them to get Campbell over Sirianni. I think. Just yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm with you there. I mean, again, it could be tempting to say like Nick Sirianni, he's made like 2 Super Bowls. The Lions haven't made one, but
From all that we've
you have to
seen,
consider
Dan
that
Campbell looks like he's the better coach.
Dan Campbell took the poverty Lions and like made them relevant. Like him and I
Not
mean,
not
it
just
has to be
relevant,
the
not just
credit has to go to
relevant. He
him.
made them a powerhouse.
Yeah, but like the credit has to go to him, right? Because it's not like Goff. I mean, Goff is good, but it's not like Goff was the savior. And it's like I don't think they got a new owner. I think Dan Campbell deserves a lot of the credit. So
Oh, for
like
sure,
I would
for
probably
sure.
agree with you there that like Campbell is the better coach. All right, Nick Sirianni or Matt LaFleur?
Oh man, LaFleur has been so solid and consistent ever since he got the head coaching job. He just hasn't really.
Yeah, see, I haven't. I have a pretty clear answer. Do you want to hear it or do you just like want to talk
Go
about
ahead and
it?
say because I'm still thinking
I'd
through.
say Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur is way better.
Probably because the thing with him is he's been tied down to Jordan Love, and we've kind of had to wait to see how he do, and he's still growing as a player. I feel like we still don't know
Mm.
how good Jordan Love is. You know. Um,
So is that making the argument that like maybe Matt LaFleur? Like, what are you
I
arguing
think
there? If
that
that's
I think
like
that's a good sign for LaFleur that the Packers have been able to
okay,
have sustained
yeah,
success under him. Um,
right.
I wanna see more, but I think I would choose to have LaFleur as my coach over Sirianni.
People forget that people forget that they thought the Packers would suck when Rodgers left. And I think I was actually one of the few people who was like, watch out for the Packers. I mean, because like Jordan Love hadn't proven anything. So I think a lot of people thought there'd just be some like 6-7 win team and like maybe Jordan Love would have some moments. But like I do think Matt LaFleur also like won games with Malik Willis. Like I think he's just a really good coach. I would definitely take him over Sirianni. Um all right, I'll let you speak on this. Nick Sirianni or D'Amico Ryans?
Oh man. Well, D'Amico's only had 2 seasons as a coach, both solid seasons. I mean,
Mm,
given Sirianni has that Super Bowl in that same period of time, I feel like recency bias favors Sirianni there. I don't know. Probably
that's
Sirianni.
fair.
Because, I mean, Ryan's, I'm sure
Yeah.
he seems like a very good coach, but we got to give him more time and see what all he can do. At the very least, he's got to win the division again and probably win another playoff game because we need to see Houston go further. Like, it's great that they are now
Like being
a
more
good
consistent.
playoff team,
Yeah.
but they need to
Mhm.
join that upper tier in the AFC, you know?
Right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I will say though, as a Texans fan, I wouldn't fire D'Amico for Sirianni, which I think that goes without saying. Even if I thought Sirianni was slightly better, like I just wouldn't like I probably wouldn't fire D'Amico for like Sean Payton now, I mean, which especially like Sean Payton said some like things about Houston apparently, when he was interviewing. But
I think
since I made the
he
executive
said some
decision on
things about a lot of teams. I'm telling you, Sean Payton sucks.
yeah, Well, since I made the executive decision about putting Sean Payton over Nick Sirianni, I'll just let this slide. Even if I wanted to argue, I'll just say like, yeah. I mean, Nick Sirianni, Super Bowl champion, won way more playoff games, more experience. Like, yeah, I think I'll be with you there.
Yeah, there's a
All right.
line we're trying to work with here because Sirianni has that Super Bowl win, and we have to figure out how important that really is in these discussions.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It does kind of really like put that to question. Okay. Nick Sirianni versus his other assistant coach, Shane Steichen.
Sirianni. I'm sure Steichen is better
Yeah.
than the results would indicate, but he's been stuck with Richardson, and that was going to be a tall task for anyone.
Yep. All right. Also, I've kind of been keeping track. I think it's 4 or 5 coaches ahead of Sirianni. I think we'll sort of get to that. We can
Something like
tally
that.
it up at the end, or when I edit, I'll just sort of do that.
Yeah.
All right, Nick Sirianni or Duval.
Give me Sirianni. I was never a Liam Cohen guy anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, Nick Sirianni or Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, but he just beat Andy Reid in the Super Bowl.
Eagles fans be like.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, this might. I think there's a clear answer. This might be interesting. Nick Sirianni or Pete Carroll?
Sirianni. I feel like Pete Carroll hasn't had real NFL success in a while now, so.
I agree. I thought maybe it could be a little bit interesting since like he's Super Bowl champion, had these good Seahawks years, but I think he's just like a little too old for us to consider like
Yeah,
him
at this
better
point.
than Sirianni. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, this is actually interesting. Or it might be interesting if you really like this guy, Nick Sirianni or Jim Harbaugh.
Jim never won a Super Bowl, did he? But he won a national
No.
championship. Maybe
Won a
never a
national
Super Bowl.
championship. He went to a Super Bowl with the Niners. Don't forget those Niner years. He was good
Yeah,
there as well.
and he brought
But
the
no, he
Chargers to
hasn't
the
won.
playoffs. Yeah, I'd
To
probably want
Kaepernick.
Harbaugh. Because he was
Yeah.
in the market last year. I would have been ecstatic if we hired him over Canales. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd agree so too. I really like Harbaugh. He's just won everywhere he's gone. Like he's taken Kaepernick to multiple like NFC championships and like just like made this Charger team like pretty good again. Like I mean somehow you got just stomped by us in the playoffs. I don't know how you could allow that to happen, but yeah, I'd probably take Harbaugh. Okay, Nick Sirianni or Sean McVay.
give me McVay. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you there.
McVay. Yeah,
I think McVay, like I think the perception of him, he's lost a little bit of his like sizzle, I guess, from like a few years ago when he was like Super Bowl champion, one of the young hotshots or whatever. But he's still really, really, really good,
right.
and I think a lot of people just forget that. Okay, Nick Sirianni or cool, hip, wears flip flops but never won a playoff game, can't win a playoff game in the cold to save his life, Mike McDaniel.
Give me Sirianni.
Yeah, I would agree there. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Nick Sirianni or current, I believe, recipient of the coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell.
Oh man. Well, I'm a Kevin O'Connell fan. I think he's really really good. Which is why I'm inclined to believe Minnesota is going to be pretty good again this year, even though I'm not a JJ McCarthy
Mhm.
believer. Yeah, I'd rather have Kevin O'Connell. I really like him. I'd rather have him over Sirianni, despite that Super Bowl win.
Yeah, I agree. He made Kirk Cousins and Sam Darnold good in back-to-back seasons. I would probably agree with that. Um, okay, Nick Sirianni or Mike Vrabel.
Oh man. Uh, Probably Sirianni. Just
Yeah,
slightly
I'd probably
Sirianni.
agree.
It's tough to say
Yeah,
Vrabel when he did so much for Tennessee, but then couldn't get over the hump, and then they
yeah.
fell apart, and he got fired, and yeah,
It is. I do think this year will be huge for him for like kind of rebuild his perception potentially. Because I think he has a good year in New England. There's a good chance he's just talked about as one of the best coach. Like maybe not like the top coaches, but like just one of the consistently better coaches.
he'd probably win Coach of the Year again if he has New England in the playoffs.
Yes, yeah, that's true. 2-time coach of the year. Okay, Nick Sirianni or Kellen Moore?
Sirianni.
Okay. Nick Sirianni or former coach of the year, not always a good sign, Brian Dabble.
Oh yeah, Sirianni.
Okay. Nick Sirianni or Aaron Glenn?
Sirianni.
All right. Nick Sirianni or Nick Sirianni? Well, okay, we'll skip that.
Tough choice.
Okay. Nick Sirianni or Mike Tomlin?
Mr.
Never had a losing
Consistent
season.
himself. Oh man. I mean, as a Panthers fan, I would be really tempted to take Tomlin and be like, make us mediocre at least. We can go to the playoffs every now and then because we would love that in Carolina.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in forever,
True.
so we've never even had back-to-back
Yeah.
winning seasons. Did you know that? Carolina's never had back-to-back winning seasons, so I would gladly take
Oh,
Tomlin.
that's actually crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's tough. I think I'd probably go Tomlin. I think he's despite
So,
all the memes, I think he's still a very good
like,
coach.
yes,
And if the Steelers
I do
would
think
go
there
and
are a
get some
lot.
more weapons and change for their style, I think they would be a better team. As it is,
He
they've
is
wasted the prime
consistently
of some
made
strong
fun
players.
of.
But go ahead.
Yeah, he's consistently made fun of for the fact that he only never has a losing season or whatever. I still think he's really good. Again, Super Bowl champion from like 15 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah,
I
something like
guess
that.
no, he's not multi-time Super Bowl champion because I think Ben Roethlisberger is a two-time Super Bowl champion, but he won one of them with Bill Cowher, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But
But Tomlin's only
yes,
won
I
one,
mean
so
all
was
that
that
say, like,
Arizona, the game against Arizona.
yeah. Like he's like won games with like Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kenny Pickett, Ben Roethlisberger on his last leg, Mason Rudolph. Like I think he's probably, yeah, I'd probably want him. Like I don't know if I necessarily want him as my like long term solution, but I think I just knew you guys were talking about the Steelers just because I got on that. Yeah, what a coincidence. We're talking about who we would take Nick Sirianni over, and we're just talking about Mike Tomlin. We're going through all the coaches. Oh, you graduated. Congratulations. That
Congratulations.
is, yeah, that is huge. That is very exciting. Good for you. Nice. Um, yeah, we're going through all the NFL head coaches and talking about, because we're talking about Nick Sirianni because he's like a very polarizing sort of figure. Basically, talking about like which coaches will we take over Nick Sirianni. And we would take Mike Tomlin over Nick Sirianni. So you can be happy about that. All right. Nick Sirianni or Kyle Shanahan?
I'd probably take Shanahan. He's too good.
Yeah.
Despite Sirianni actually winning the Super Bowl.
Right, yeah. Or all those like for the fact that the Eagles have won the Super Bowl and they haven't. The 49ers also had some really good teams that like made multiple Super Bowls and were winning multiple Super Bowls. So there's definitely that there. Nick Sirianni or Mike McDonald?
Oh, Seahawks coach? No, I'll take Sirianni.
Yeah, I'd probably say so too. Nick Sirianni or Todd Bowles?
Sirianni.
Yeah. Todd Bowles, I think, has beaten the crap out of Sirianni a few times. But yeah, I would agree. I'd take Sirianni.
Yeah, I think Tampa just has
Todd.
their number.
Yeah. Nick Sirianni or Brian Callahan?
Sirianni.
All right, last but not least, Nick Sirianni or Dan Quinn?
Sirianni.
I think you could debate that, but I don't really feel like it, so I'll just agree with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So, I think I lost count, but I'll kind of try to go back. So, we took Harbaugh over Sirianni.
We took both Harbaugh over Sirianni.
Right. So I think we kept McDermott below him, right? We said Sirianni was better.
I think we did give it to Sirianni for the Super Bowl win.
Yes.
I don't know. That's kind of iffy.
I took Sean Payton over Sirianni. We took Campbell over Sirianni. LaFleur, Andy Reid. Right, count Harbaugh. McVay, that's 7. We took O'Connell, right?
Yeah.
That's 8. We didn't do Vrabel, but that could be close. We took Tomlin, that's 9. We took Shanahan, that's 10. So, yeah, about the 11th, 10, 11, 12th best coach in the league. Does that sound about right?
I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think clearly a lot of the established guys are just going to be way ahead of him. But then you have like some debatable cases like like Mike Tomlin or like I don't know who else was like super debatable. Even like
McDermott is pretty
Sean McDermott.
debatable because we had
Yeah,
him below him.
yeah,
I'm,
because
I'm
like
kind of rethinking that now.
McDermott.
Yeah.
Because like if you just put slot a few other coaches like ahead of him, you could have him as like the 14th or something like that. I mean, if he doesn't win that Super Bowl, like he probably is closer to 14, 15.
I'd have him a lot lower probably if he didn't win the Super Bowl, or if he didn't make the Super Bowl, I should say. Um,
Right.
I think I told you earlier we talked about Kevin Stefanski. I would have easily taken him over Sirianni before last season. Or I would have taken
Yeah.
yeah, guys like that. So he'd probably drop into the 20s for
Right.
me before last season.
Yeah. Right. Yep. For sure.
All right. Well,
Well,
now that we've done
there
that,
you
do
go,
we want
guys.
to get to the main event?
Unless we want to talk about the tush push really quick. I mean, although do we really like? I think we are in favor of the NFL sort of not banning the tush
Yeah.
push. I mean, it was by vote, so they couldn't really
Yeah,
do
we're
it.
not going
But
to be able to really get into that much because we just agree. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's just like my philosophy is that like teams who like cry about it, like just try your best to stop it and like do it yourself. I mean, you can like theoretically just like find like some. It doesn't even have to be your quarterback. It should just be some like physical freak who can just push the line. And it's like yes, they know it's coming, but you just yeah. I mean, I think it's just like it's a totally a football play. Like
yeah,
it's totally fine.
I'm not worried about it. I think they made the right
And like
call
I
not
think a
banning it.
lot of people like a lot of people are like they'll be like, oh, Jalen Hurts stat like Jalen Hurts, but he does the tush push all the time. It's like Jalen Hurts isn't like tush pushing his way to Super Bowl victories. Like he's like it clearly helps, but it's not the only reason why they're good. So like yeah, I think we're in agreement there.
There we
All
go.
right, main event.
Main event. We're gonna predict every NFL game, all 272. Let me hopefully this transition is gonna be nice and clean. Nice.
Yep,
Looks good.
there we go.
Okay. Um yeah, we're just gonna start in week one, go down the list. I think it's in order, or at least to some degree, because we have the Dallas Eagles game at the top here in week one. So
Mhm. Yeah,
I think part of it will be in order. So we're gonna go. Wow, ugh, I'm tripping over my words before they even come out, man. This is bad.
yeah.
We're gonna go through all of the games week by week. Eventually, we're gonna have a playoff picture when we're through with everything, and I'm thinking we'll probably do some playoff predictions, right?
Yeah, I would assume so too.
All right. Are you ready?
I am indeed ready. Let's hit it.
Okay, starting
So
off
yeah, you could just
our
name
way
the
too
matchup.
early
Yeah.
season predictions in week one. We got the Cowboys facing the Eagles. The Eagles have the home game, so what do you make of that?
I mean, you have to assume that the Eagles will win, unless you randomly just want to pick the Cowboys because I don't know they'll be intriguing or whatnot. But I'm comfortable just saying Eagles win.
I feel like if we give the Cowboys a win over the Eagles this year, it's gonna be the Dallas home game. So if we'll come back to
Yeah.
that when they play again. For now, we'll go Eagles. Um, see Chiefs, Chargers, Chargers at home.
So this is Brazil though, so home
Oh
field doesn't
right,
necessarily.
right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
But yeah, no, you're good. I would assume the Chiefs win. It wouldn't be shocking if the Chargers. Also, what we have to remember, though, not really based on this, is that there are 272 of these games. We won't necessarily have time to like hyper analyze all these. Also, what I
Right.
do think we need to do is just throw in like random upsets,
Oh, for
like
sure.
just some random like Titans beat Texans at home or something like that. Like we just gotta throw some of those in
We're
just
gonna get
randomly.
weird because the
But
NFL is weird.
nah, I think the Chiefs, like, they won a lot of these close games last year. I assume they'll be one of like the like if any teams like prepare to just play in Brazil, it would be them.
Uh huh.
So I'm fine just saying Chiefs, unless you want to say Chargers.
I want to say the Chiefs. I also want to say I do think the Chargers have a good chance to steal one of those two games this year. Because I mean, I think they're going to be better in year two under Harbaugh. So
Yeah,
I also don't think the Chiefs are going to regress like some people think. I think they're getting Rasheed Rice back and Xavier Worthy is going to be better. And they stole Jalen Royals in the
yeah,
draft on day three, so I think their offense is going to get better. Uh,
I think
Tam,
what's also
sorry.
worth noting, like, no, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I think what's also worth noting, like, if you're like, I don't know, betting on this game or game, not that I would give that type of advice, but Andy Reid, like off a bye, is historically very good. So
Mm,
Andy Reid, like just with time to prepare, is really good. And I think I also, oh no, it was a different stat. It was well, there's some like haven't the Chiefs won like a lot of home openers like recently?
I
But I
believe
was
that.
looking at a different yes, but I was looking at a different graphic, but it was like were we looking at it together? I was looking at it with someone. I don't remember if it was you or something, but like how like all these like the historic kickoff game scores. The Chiefs did lose one of them to the Lions, but no, you know what? It was the fact that the Chiefs have won 9 out of their last 10 not home open. 9 of their last 10 just opening games.
Hmm.
So, I think there's something to be said there.
Okay.
But anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we
giving
can
it to the
just
Chiefs. I'm cool with that for sure.
yeah,
We can probably go through some of these pretty quickly. Tampa, Atlanta. I feel like we're both gonna say Tampa.
yeah, probably.
Spoiler alert: I've got Tampa going pretty far. So
Yeah.
Cincinnati and Cleveland. Are we gonna say the Bengals start slow again, or do we give them the win?
Yeah, I guess this just kind of like depends on like do you think if do you think that trend is going to continue or do you think they're going to kind of try to fix it?
I feel like they also lose to the Browns once a year at least. I feel like that was something
Yeah,
that was a Joe Burrow problem. He was doing poorly against the Browns early on. So
no, you're
if we're gonna go
right.
weird, this
Um,
would be one of those weird results. Except it's not that weird. We should expect it.
yeah, I think we're fine just saying Browns win. I have no idea who's starting at quarterback, but
Kenny Pickett gives the
that's totally
Browns hope in Week 1,
yeah, totally.
and they lose
Yes.
16 in a row. Anyway, uh, battle of bottom 5 teams, at least to us. It's the Colts and the Dolphins. We have them doing pretty badly, so it's funny they're playing in Week 1. Just gut reaction
Colts,
here.
Dolphins.
I
I don't know
assume
where it is.
Dolphins.
I would assume Dolphins since it's earlier in the season, so I'd probably say they'll probably
Right.
be like a little bit better, but I think down the road they'll like not be that good.
And part of our theory on them, anyway, is that Tua's going to end up getting injured. So their collapse is probably more so aimed in the middle of the season. We're guessing.
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Yeah. Panthers at Jacksonville. I think the Panthers are going to win that game.
Sure, yeah, we can chalk it up.
A lot of people are going to have that being a toss up probably, but I think we match
Yeah,
up pretty well against them.
yep.
Vegas Patriots. That's intriguing because these are both potential sleeper teams in the AFC.
Yeah, where is it?
It's at New England. I'd be inclined to go New England here.
I really like Patriots. Yeah, I agree.
Cardinals, Saints, Cardinals.
Sure.
Nice. Steelers,
Yep.
Jets. I would definitely say Steelers. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it obviously depends. Okay, side note, by the way, and it doesn't really have to do with the predictions necessarily. Although I guess you have to consider: are we assuming Rodgers is
I'm
on the
assuming that.
Steelers?
I'm assuming
Okay.
he's a Steeler by the time the
I did
season
have a
starts.
question. I was just kind of wondering. Sorry, this is kind of off topic, but this was on my mind like literally today. Like, if Rodgers does not sign and they start like Mason Rudolph, are we still assuming they're just gonna win like 9 games?
Honestly, I assume that if Rodgers doesn't sign with them, they're gonna trade for Kirk Cousins, and I'm okay with them having Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
If Rudolph is the
Yeah, I
starter,
just don't
things
think
are
you
more
can afford.
complicated for sure. Probably the first losing season.
Yeah, 'cause I've heard things like, oh, if they'll just start Rudolph and just like run the ball and play defense like it's 1970 or something. Like, I don't know that you're gonna be able to win like 9 games like that.
They're the one team that
And
can
for
get away with it.
if you somehow can't get Kirk Cousins, you have to do like you have to get Tannehill, get something like that. Like,
Right.
just you have to do something else.
Just Tannehill would be
I
an
don't know,
upgrade over Rudolph.
just
Trade
tell
for Andy
Kenny Pickett
Dalton.
like, hey, we're sorry about right.
The bread
Even
buff.
Andy Dalton would be better.
I would love to see that
David, you want
actually.
Davis Mills? Like, he'd probably give
Yeah,
you a better chance.
probably, yeah. But I
Okay,
would,
anyway,
even if Rudolph starts, I think I'm picking the Steelers to beat the Jets. I don't see the Jets offense
yeah,
mustering
so
anything
I
against
guess
that
we'll assume that
defense.
either Rodgers or Cousins is the Steelers quarterback. Which in that case, yeah, I'd say Steelers probably win.
All right. Washington, New York could be more interesting
New
than
York
people
Giants.
think. They played 2 close games last year, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
This could be
Um.
our other weird upset if you want, but I personally wouldn't, but I don't I mean,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be that crazy.
Let's just say Commanders. I think what I'm gonna do is like, you could do whatever. I think I'm just gonna like pop in randomly each week and just say upset, and like I don't have to justify it because it's the NFL. Weird things happen. But we already kind of did have our upset with. Otherwise, we kind of collaborate on that. So I guess technically, but anyway, just give you a heads up. I'll just do that.
Okay. Titans
Just one per week.
Broncos
I'm not gonna
is
just.
next. Oh
Sorry,
yeah. Yeah, I gotcha.
sorry. What's the matchup?
Cam Ward debuts against the Broncos' tough defense. Titans at
Oh, Titans
Denver.
versus Broncos. Yeah, I guess Broncos. I think that'll be
Yeah,
tough
I can't
for the
see the Titans
Titans.
offense doing anything. That's going to be a terrible debut for Ward.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, this one's intriguing. 49ers at Seahawks. I would lean 49ers.
I would think so too. I think they'll have some surprises up their sleeves. They'll be healthier. They'll be more motivated now that they paid Purdy. Yeah, I think not Steelers. 49ers could 49ers would win that one.
It'll be close. I still think the NFC West 4 teams are all really, really close to one another, but the 49ers have such an easy schedule.
Uh-huh.
They're probably winning that division, but we'll see what happens here. Packers
Yeah.
Lions. I'm inclined to believe the Lions open the season 1-0.
Yes, I'd probably be inclined to think that too.
Even though it is at Lambeau Field, just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay. Rams Texans. I think I had you guys beating the
So with
Rams
the
and you had
Texans'
them
first two
losing.
games, I think. Yeah, so I think with the Texans' first two games, we agreed on the record 1-1. We just had the flipped like
Who the
results
losses
wise.
to.
So like
Yeah.
yeah, so like I think whatever. I think as long as the Texans start 1-1, I'm fine with like whichever way we want to go. I think they're more likely to lose to the Rams and then beat the Bucks. But if you think like other way is more likely, we could also
I'll
just do
defer to you on
that.
this one since you let me have the win over the Jags for Carolina.
Yeah, that's fair.
So Texans loose.
Yep.
Okay. Bills Ravens. I think the Ravens get revenge.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that'll be a good matchup. I don't even know who I would pick. So yeah, I'd say you said Ravens.
Yeah. I like the Ravens
Yep.
overall more than Buffalo right now, I think, but
Mhm.
if anyone's going to break through in the postseason, I do have my money on Buffalo. Well, I don't really, but I would
Yep.
if I.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, last game in week 1. It's the Vikings at the Bears, the Ben Johnson debut. I'm going to lean Bears. I think Ben
Um,
Johnson opens his head coaching career with a statement win.
oh, you take Bears over? Did you say Vikings?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have them split their season series and just give the win to the home team both
Yeah, it
times.
is JJ McCarthy's first game. You never know. Yeah, I'm fine with that. It's probably an upset, but yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Personally, I've got them around the same level. It really just depends on how the quarterbacks do.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there.
All
Also, I
right.
think by the way, I have decided my week 2 upset that I'll just randomly sort of say. So just whenever you get to it, I'll sort of
Okay.
bring it up.
Nice.
All right.
Interesting. Right, we had all 4 AFC South teams lose. So as of now, the Colts would be in the playoffs. Also, the Browns are the number 1 seed in the AFC as of right now. So that's a fun
Yes,
fact.
totally,
I don't
totally
know how that
accurate.
happened.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
All right.
Week 2, Washington at Green Bay. 1-0 Washington, 0-1 Packers. Probably the Packers.
Washington at Green Bay. I would Ooh. I
Are the
mean,
Packers going to
I
start
assume
0-2 with
Packers.
both games at home?
Yeah, no, I assume Packers win. I think Commander. I mean, they're really good, but they might regress slightly. I think the Packers are a little better than we give them credit for.
I do
So I'd
think
probably
we are
take Packers.
overrating Washington a little bit too, or at least a lot of people are, because I don't think they
Yeah.
actually did enough to fix that defense. Like I think they still have problems on defense. So
I
I
probably
don't know.
agree with that. They're probably closer to like a 10-win team than like a 13-win team, is
Yeah,
what I'm
I don't think they're
thinking.
gonna suddenly elevate to Philadelphia's level.
No, yeah, I'd probably agree with that.
Cleveland at Baltimore, but Baltimore, right?
Yes, this is not my random upset.
Okay.
Although it could have been, but
They
I'd say
were the random
Baltimore.
upset in week 1, the Browns over Bengals.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Jags at Bengals. 0-1.
This
Pretty
is my
sure.
upset. Jags.
Really? So continuing the
I'm
Bengals
not have to
slow
explain it.
start.
Yeah. That didn't even occur to me. Yeah, it actually does placate to that. But
That's funny.
yeah, just Jags, random upset. I mean, Travis Hunter is gonna, destroy that Bengals defense. Everyone will believe in the Jags when they beat us in week 3 and they're like 2-1 or whatever.
What does that
Are
say
they
about
3-0
the
or are they 2-1?
Panthers? My goodness.
2-1. But yeah, that's Jags win.
I would be
All right.
really happy with that, honestly, if we beat them week 1 and then they beat the Bengals.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Anyway, 0-1 Giants at 0-1 Cowboys. Probably the Cowboys. Despite all the jokes, I
Yeah,
think they're
I
a good
think
team.
so. Yeah, probably better than the Giants for sure. Giants, you don't know what they're doing at quarterback, and they're probably just the worst team. Yeah, I'm fine
Well,
with
right
that.
now we gotta remember too, the Giants are starting Russ for the first part of the season, so I'd say give him till week 8 or so.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bears at Lions. I would say Lions. Ben Johnson revenge
Bears
game
at
does not
Lions.
go well.
Yeah. I'd probably agree with you there. Yep.
Okay, most intriguing / surprising 1-0 matchup here. 1-0 Patriots at 1-0 Dolphins.
Give me Patriots.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh wait. That could be that I don't know.
We're gonna backpedal in Miami.
This is like, do I have the Dolphins fraudulently starting 2-0 or the Patriots, what I think could be legitimately starting 2-0?
I'm a Drake May believer, and I'm a Mike Vrabel
Yeah,
believer.
give me the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I got
They're gonna be
2-0.
good. They're gonna be like 10-7.
Niners
No one's
at
gonna see
Saints.
that coming.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I think it might be more than 10 wins for them, honestly, but
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah. Niners at Saints. Yeah. Are we just gonna have the Saints lose every game? Do we just want to like chalk that up?
Well, we gotta throw them a win somewhere, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot of
That's
losses.
fine. I mean, I wouldn't be super against it though, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have to honor the thumbnail, of course.
Right. Of course.
Bills at Jets. 0-1 Bills, 0-1 Jets.
So this is what I wanted to be my random upset. I was gonna say that until we predicted the Bills losing week 1, and I'm like, okay, if they lose week 1 on prime time, I don't think they're gonna lose to the Jets in week 2.
Oh, they're gonna beat the Jets
So
like
I do
40-0 or something.
they'll destroy the Jets. Yeah, give me the Bills all day.
Yeah.
If they had beat the Ravens, I probably would pick that as my upset, but just given that's the case, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, also, this site inserts random scores every time you put a result in, so just so anyone watching knows, that's not me. It's the website, obviously.
Oh, what score did it say?
Well, for that one, it said 15-14, which I think is just a great score.
15-14?
Yeah. I'll keep.
I don't know what's more likely, 15-14 or 50-14.
I could see Buffalo putting up 50.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, next is interesting. 0-1 Seattle at 1-0 Pittsburgh.
0-1 Seattle at 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh defense is going to give Seattle's offense some trouble for sure. But can Seattle?
Yeah,
is Pittsburgh going to be able to score?
Yeah, I feel like the popular opinion is going to be Pittsburgh. But I do kind of think for the sake of evening things out, because Seattle's 0-1, right?
Right. Hey, this is the
I
toss-up
probably
to
would
me,
be
so
inclined
I'd
to
be okay
take
giving it to Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah, I think Seattle just like evens it out a little bit. Like we're not having them start at like just some 0-2. Like I think they could. I don't know if Seahawks will be like a good team or playoff or anything, but they'll probably be like 9-10 wins. And I feel like,
Right.
or maybe 9-10, but like I feel like sometimes you do these predictions and you'll just accidentally just give them losses and they're 5-11. Like we don't want that to happen. So
Yeah, we gotta be mindful.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, okay. 1-0 Rams at 0-1 Titans.
Wano Rams at 0-1 Titans.
Probably
Um,
the Rams. This could be one of those random upsets
I
too,
did
though.
consider that. I did consider that for my upset game. I don't know why I changed. I must have just liked another one better than just
Hmm.
mm, I'm fine with an upset unless, you know,
I'm
that
okay
feels
with it.
weird. Okay, yeah, just upset. Just Cam Ward wins his first game against the
38 to
Rams.
15.
Just
Some of these scores it puts
that's
in are
fine.
just absurd. Panthers
Yeah, that
at
is nuts.
Cardinals. You know I'm gonna say Panthers. We own them, so
Sure, let's do it.
2-0 Panthers. We are leading the NFC South right now. All
Yep.
right. 1-0 Broncos at 0-1 Colts. Probably the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm fine doing that.
Oh man, week 2. 1-0 Philly at 1-0 Chiefs.
Oh, that Philly Chiefs game.
There's
I think the
interesting.
Chiefs would probably get revenge, is my gut feeling.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the Chiefs have improved this offseason while the Eagles had some losses. But have they improved enough for this particular matchup? I wonder. I'm okay giving it to the Chiefs. We gotta move it
Yeah,
along anyway.
yeah, that's
It's a
fine.
toss
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
30 to 18. Yeah, sure, why not?
I'm already thinking ahead of to my week 3 upset pick. I'm
Okay.
debating between two, but anyway, go ahead.
0-1 Falcons at 0-1 Vikings. I'd say Vikings, but I'm biased, so.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 1-0 Bucks at 0-1 Texans. We already said Texans win, right?
Yep. Right, since they lost to the Rams in week 1. Yep.
Right. 0-1 Chargers at 0-1 Raiders. And this is that late Monday night football game, so it's probably going to be super weird given that it's these two teams and those two coaches,
Yeah.
Pete Carroll, Jim Harbaugh.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to these
Yeah.
matchups, honestly.
That'll be fun. Yeah. I guess Chargers,
I would say
you
Chargers.
know. Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they split the season series, if we come back to that later.
Yep.
Now we're in week 3. We're starting with 1-1 Miami at 1-1 Buffalo. You know I'm going to say Buffalo.
Yes, I agree with you there, Buffalo.
Yeah. 0-2 Falcons at 2-0 Panthers. Honestly, I'm going to have them split no matter what the records are, so whichever way you want to lean is fine.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on, do we want the Panthers start 3-0, or would that feel a little?
You know what
No,
I
sure.
want?
Yeah, Panthers start 3-0. Let's get y'all's hopes up.
Yes.
Panthers.
This is
Yeah.
real life.
Well,
Okay.
I think when I did the quick predictions, I had y'all lose that game. But sure, we can say
I mean,
y'all
again,
are 2-0.
no
Y'all
matter
have
what, we are
momentum.
just destined to split with Atlanta. It doesn't matter how bad we are, how bad they are. It happens.
Yes.
Our 15-1 season, they were the one team to beat us, and it made no sense at all.
That's
Anyway, 1-1 Packers at 1-1 Browns. Packers.
fun. Yes.
1-1 Texans at 1-1 Jags.
Okay, this is like this wasn't my upset. This isn't my upset pick for this week, but I do think, is it this game? This is a game I had us losing actually in our like predictions. Um, can I get 2 upsets this
Sure.
week if one of them's for the Texans?
If you're gonna call Texans upset, I won't stop you. I mean,
Yeah, I think I will. I just feel like it's gonna happen, and then suddenly the Jags will be 2-1 at that point, and just
right.
commanding the AFC South, right? Like the
That's correct.
narratives are gonna be there, like Travis Hunter, like leading the Jags to the AFC South. Like, yeah, we'll give them to the Jags.
All right, as long as I don't mess around and give them the division.
Right? No, we'll make sure that doesn't happen.
Right. Ooh, 0-2 Bengals at 1-1 Vikings. Is this where we end the Bengals' slow start?
You sure? I mean, I think we think the Bengals are going to be a good playoff team. We don't really want them to fall to 0-3. So I think it makes sense to give the Bengals a win.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. And we're talking about evening things out too, so that brings them both to 1-2.
Yeah, that's
1-1
true.
Steelers at 2-0 Patriots. Oddly intriguing matchup.
Oh, oh, I want to take the Patriot. Although this could be the spot where like they're like all hyped up and then they just lose. Um, Oh, that will be intriguing matchup. Mike Vrabel versus Mike Tomlin.
It's going to be
Um,
close because again, the Steelers' defense is going to give them a lot of close games, and I don't. How good is the Patriots'
it
defense?
does. You say the
That's the
Steelers
real
are
question
one and
here.
one.
Yeah.
It does make it. I'd say Steelers for the reason that like we want to make sure that the Steelers are on track to have the winning record, but also Patriots starting 3-0 does start to feel a little weird. So
True.
I'm
Okay,
fine just saying Steelers win.
that works for me. 1-1 Rams at
Yep.
1-1 Eagles. I'd take Philly.
Yeah, I take Philly too. I mean, it could go either way, but I
Yeah.
take Philly there.
0-2 Jets at 1-1 Bucks. Buccaneers.
Bucks, yeah.
Ooh, AFC South 0-2 Colts at 1-1 Titans. You want to have the Titans start 2-1 as well?
I feel like we have to even it out. Colts win.
Colts win. Okay.
Also, what I will say, I actually did think about that with this game. Not we don't have to do it for this game, and maybe I'll give you the honor since I'm doing the random upsets. We have to put a random tie somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
It's anywhere. Okay.
All right, we'll keep that in mind.
Um.
Okay,
Okay.
next is the 0-2 Raiders at the 1-1 Commanders.
This is my upset. Raiders.
Raiders. Okay, yeah, I can see it. The Raiders are going to be
Yeah,
a
I
weird
don't
team.
want
They're going to
them.
get some upsets.
Raiders are 0-2, right? At this point before the Commanders
Right, now they're
game.
both 1-2.
Yeah, I just didn't want them to fall 0-3. That was kind of my logic. It was either gonna be that for my upset. It was either gonna be that or Chiefs Giants. Um, but then, which that could be interesting, but something swayed me from that.
It's
I think it
Russell
was
Wilson is
just
their
that.
quarterback.
No, it wasn't that. I think I just saw the Raiders start 0-2, and I was like, I don't want
Mm,
them to be 0-3. Like, I don't think they'll be like some playoff team, but I also think they'll be competitive.
sure.
So
No, I agree.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
2-0 Broncos at 1-1 Chargers. I'd give it to the Chargers.
Yes, I'd probably agree with that. Um, Also, by the way, I do have these games on NFL.com as well. Like, I just have to, and they're in order, so I'll know what's coming next. Just FYI, like you can
Okay.
still name them, but just I'll just know like what's coming next.
All right.
Um,
Seahawks win the next game,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yes, then we can agree on that.
I'm gonna give the Bears Cowboys game to the Bears. Probably is what I'd lean.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
that makes sense.
Cardinals 49ers. Do we have the Niners starting 3-0?
What's the Cardinals' record? Are they one and
One and
one
one.
or um? In either way, or me. Oh yeah, I'd say we probably start. Yeah, I think 49ers probably win that game.
All right, 3-0 Niners, and then Chiefs are gonna beat the Giants. I would assume.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, juicy one here. 2-0 Lions at the 2-0 Ravens.
Ooh. Uh, I want to say Lions actually. I know Ravens is probably the pick because they're home, like the more popular pick, but
Right.
like Dan Campbell's gonna have something up his sleeve. Like it'll be like a Dan Skipper game-winning pass to Jared Goff, like in overtime. When they on 4th and 1 when they could just kick a field, like something crazy like that. But I don't know. I'm just fine. Fine either way.
I mean, it's a coin flip for me. I was going to give it to the home team just because, but if you want to go Lions, that works for me. Like, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
back
this
and
will
forth
be
on it.
my mini upset. Like because we have to have some of those as well. I think I'm fine just saying Lions win.
Okay. And that takes us to week 4. We got an interesting playoff fixture here just because the Jags are the 3 seed and the Patriots are leading the AFC East as of now. Okay. Nice.
Jags and Patriots. Yep.
Yeah, why not? Just the
Totally.
early season shenanigans. And then the Panthers leading the NFC
Yep.
South at 3-0. Love to see it. Seattle is there as a 7 seed. That's fascinating.
Mm.
All right. Speaking of them, we start off with Seattle at Arizona. 2-1 Seahawks, 1-2 Cardinals. Do we even that out?
Sure. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. and then 1-2 Vikings at 2-1 Steelers. Steelers have a lot of interesting early season matchups.
Yes. And this one must be in London or something. 'Cause it's an 8:30 a.m. game.
Oh, it's
So,
probably one of those yeah, international
yeah, we
games.
do need to try. We should try keep in mind. I mean, not that it matters too much, but so this is like where the Vikings. Well, this is their game, their first overseas game, and then they're gonna have Cleveland fly to Ireland the next week. So I think we were talking about that in some context, where like the Vikings will definitely beat the Browns in that game.
Right. Do we give them 2
So
wins over international games?
what's their record now?
The Vikings are 1-2 right now.
And what's the Steelers' record again?
2-1.
Yeah, I think we gave the Steelers. I don't know if it was an upset. We kind of gave them an even out. Oh, it was against the Patriots. We gave them last week.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, I'd say we give the Vikings. Yeah, I'd say we give the Vikings this one, and
okay.
then next one they'll be 3-2, which is probably where they should be at.
That feels right. Feels right.
Yes.
Okay. 1-2 Commanders at 0-3 Falcons. Commanders, give it to the Commanders.
Yeah. That's not my upset pick. Yeah, Commanders win.
Take that, Atlanta. Okay.
Yep.
0-3 Saints at 2-1 Bills. Bills are gonna beat the
That
crap out
would
of
be a
them.
funny upset pick. The Bills will destroy them. Yep.
That's like a 50-0 game. Oof. Some crappy matchups.
Oh, well, it's gonna be. Oh, I have the perfect content idea. Since we're doing this, like predicting every game, like at the end of every NFL week, like we'll just like play like the clip of us predicting it, and then just like have the score of what would actually happen somewhere. That'll be so funny to like look back.
Oh
Like
yeah.
my clip of like, oh, Bills will definitely win, and then they lost. That would be funny.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to incorporate that for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we would have to like get that recorded or something, but yeah, or clipped. Yeah,
I'm sure there's a way, but I don't know.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, 1-2 Browns at 3-0 Lions. This isn't an upset pick, right?
Yeah, Lions. Yeah, Lions win. I'd say.
Ooh, 1-2 Titans at 1-2 Texans. The Texans get this one.
Yes.
3-0 Panthers at 2-1 Patriots. Oh, we should have let the Patriots be 3-0. That would have been the most legendary 3-0 matchup.
That would.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be funny 3-0 matchup.
It would. This feels like we're
I
both
would
going to
be-
be in the low 20s, and it's going to come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah, we had Panthers start 3-0. I feel like this is where they falter, and then Patriots are like, it's the Patriots dynasty again. Even though I don't think anyone who's smart is going to be like reacting like that, but
The clickbaiters.
I just say Patriots. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all will lose some games. Even if we have
We got to
only-
lose at
you
some
only
point. It's
lose, like,
either that one or it's the Jags game. Realistically, we're losing to the
Right.
0-2 Falcons because we would do that. But anyway.
Mhm.
All right.
Right.
2-1 Chargers are going to beat up on the 0-3 Giants, I take it.
Yep.
2-1 Eagles at 2-1 Buccaneers.
This
mentioned
is
the Bucks
my
have their number.
upset. Give me the Buccaneers.
All right, yeah, I'm in on that. Give me the Bucks.
Yeah.
Philly falls to 2-2, and we have to question if Sirianni is that guy or not.
Right.
All right. Ooh,
Yeah,
interesting
true.
battle of 1-2 teams. I think we're gonna have an easy answer though. It's 1-2 Colts at 1-2 Rams.
Yeah, definitely. Just give me the Rams. Colts can fall to 1-3 and start Daniel Jones.
Surprisingly high level matchup based on record. 2-1 Jags at 3-0 49ers.
So I was gonna make this my upset, but then I was like, I don't want the Jags to just be 3-1.
Yeah, at this point we would
so-
have the Jags as an actually good team.
Right. Niners will be 4-0 if they win. Is that right?
That's right.
I feel like it's more realistic that Niners start 4-0 than that Jags start 3-1. So
Probably.
I'd say 49ers win.
All right. 2-1 Ravens at 3-0 Chiefs.
I guess you say Chiefs.
I
Chiefs
don't
are
know.
3-0 at this point.
We got to give the Chiefs a
We wanna
loss.
say
at some
Ravens?
point. I could see the Ravens being the team to beat
Yeah.
them. It'll be like the Ravens beat them in the
Yeah,
regular season and then lose in the playoffs if they play.
a little early in the season, they'll have some tricks up their sleeves. I'm not opposed to that myself.
Yeah, this game they won't forget to run the ball. So, and Isaiah likely will have his
Right.
entire foot in bounds this time. Finally,
Totally. Yeah. Yep.
interesting match here. 2-1 Bears at 1-2 Raiders.
2-1 Bears at 1-2 Raiders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This
Hmm.
could be an upset. I think could be where like
This is
Bears
the
are 2-1,
Genty's
right?
gonna run over the Bears because the Bears fans would hate that.
Yeah, because I feel like this would be a spot where like the Bears get like hyped up and then they suddenly like get humbled by the Raiders. I'm fine saying Raiders. I'm not like just like asserting myself to make this like. I already made
No,
my upset pick, so I'm
I was
not
kind
trying
of
to
leaning
like.
toward Raiders too. It just feels like the pick that would
Yeah,
happen. I don't know.
it feels like an upset spot. Yeah,
2-1 Packers at 1-2 Cowboys.
on Packers at 1-2 Cowboys. I guess I'd be inclined.
Packers.
I guess this is where we start to think like, do we just think the Cowboys are just not that good?
I mean, I think they're good. I also think they've had a pretty tough schedule so far. Also, if it comes down to this, I think the Packers have the better team, and if you compare the coaches, it's crazy difference. So I don't.
Yes.
It would be weird if Dallas won this
Um,
game. I feel like.
it would be. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine either way. I'm fine. We just say Packers win, and we'll see where the Cowboys land.
They've got some work to do. Um,
Yep.
0-3 Jets at 1-2 Dolphins. This has major draft implications.
Right. Let's 0-3 Jets at 1-2. Yeah, let's even
Miami
it
at
out
home,
and
so
say the
probably
Jets win. Oh, Miami at home.
yeah.
Hmm.
Miami's at home, so in that warm weather.
I think it actually does make sense to say Miami wins. I mean, they'll still win a couple games in like September, October, and they'll be like
Right.
okay, but then they'll kind of crumble down the stretch. So yeah, I think Dolphins winning is fine.
Yeah. Okay. 1-2 Bengals at 2-1 Broncos.
1-2 Bengals at 2-1 Broncos.
I'm inclined to say
Oh, that's
Bengals.
actually interesting.
Yeah, it's an intriguing
I
matchup.
might be.
It's basically the Bengals'
Okay,
offense against the Broncos' defense, and can they score enough to make up for their defense being terrible?
yeah. Can you help me real quick? Because I'm trying to pick my next upset. Can you just tell me all the records in the AFC East?
AFC East: 3-1 Patriots, 3-1 Bills, 2-2 Dolphins, 0-4 Jets.
2-1 Dolphins, 0-4 Jets, or yeah, 2-1, 2-1 Dolphins. Do they have a
Two
bye
and two,
early?
2-2 Dolphins.
Oh, 2-2. Okay, okay, good. That's good to know. Interesting.
All right,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking ahead to next week. Well, we'll get there. I'm having a hard time picking my upset, but
fair enough.
anyway, we'll get there.
All right, and as for the Bengals Broncos,
Bengals, Bronco. Oh, I don't know. Do we say Bengals? I think we were kind of inclined to say that.
it works for me. That's what I'm inclined for. So even
Yeah,
that out.
that works for me. Yep.
Hey, the Texans are in the playoff picture again as the 7 seed.
Nice.
Awesome. Ooh, we start
Yep.
this week off with the 4-0 Niners at the 2-2 Rams.
Yeah, I was looking at this sketch. I was looking at this week. I think I'm gonna cop out of doing like an official upset this week. So I'm just so conflicted. But anyway, we'll probably have some anyway. What? Sorry, what's the matchup again?
4-0 Niners at 2-2 Rams. I'm gonna say Rams.
Hmm.
The Niners
Yeah,
have to
I'd
lose
say
at some
Rams.
point.
Right. I mean, they'll falter at some point. It's in LA. I think it would make sense.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna give the other matchup between those two teams to the Niners, but you never know.
Yeah.
We've already said Vikings beat the Browns.
Yes.
I think we're both gonna say the Ravens beat the Texans.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna say we beat the Dolphins. 2-2 Dolphins at Carolina.
Yeah, that seems to make sense. Dolphins aren't that good.
Yeah, we should be. I mean, we should be able to neutralize their offense well enough. Uh, I would think,
Hmm.
and we're gonna be able to score on them. This is also assuming Bryce Young
Right.
is gonna be what he's supposed to be this year, which could backfire.
Yeah.
Ooh, 2-2 Raiders at 1-3 Colts. I want to give it to the Raiders.
Let's do it.
They're in the playoff picture
Colts
now.
and lose. Yeah, there we go.
Oh goodness. 0-4 Giants at 0-4 Saints. Giants.
Ooh, could this be our tie?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. If we're gonna do a tie at some point.
Well, I did say that you would call it, so we don't have to do that if you want, but it's up to you.
I think let's hold out on the tie since we got many more weeks to go. We can probably find a better tie opportunity.
Yeah, I kind of want to see like what your random tie like prediction's gonna be. So,
I feel like one of these teams
who's
just
gonna-
wins. It's the other team is going to be contending for
Wait,
a high
Giants
draft
are
pick.
0-4.
Yeah.
0-4 Giants.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll. I mean, they're not gonna be that good, but I feel like they should be a little better.
Their
This
schedule
might be
is
like the
really
week.
tough. Tougher than
They
it
start
should
Jackson Dart. Maybe they've had like and like this is like Jackson Dart's like kind of signature win.
be. This could be his debut.
I'm gonna say Giants. Sorry,
This could be Jackson Dart's debut. Yeah.
Jackson Dart versus Tyler Shuck. Oh my gosh,
Oh
that's
yes.
gonna feed
Just
families.
legendary. My goodness.
Yes. Yeah. Jackson. No, I'm fine. Jackson Dart legacy game against the Saints.
500
win. I'm
yards
fine
against
with
the
that.
Saints. Jackson Dart.
Yep.
500 yards. They only got 21 points apparently, but that's okay. Anyway, 1-3 Cowboys at 0-4 Jets. I'd probably lean Cowboys here.
Yes. I think we did predict that the Jets would pick first overall, so making them start 0-5 makes sense.
Yeah, we need the Jets to be terrible to honor that.
Right.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh, I don't know how we had this happen, but 2-2 Broncos at 2-2 Eagles. Unexpected here.
I would be inclined to go Eagles. I think, they'll be motivated after having lost to Tampa Bay. They're just the better team, so I'd probably just say that.
Seeing them fall to 2-3 would be really funny, though. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I definitely.
That would be fun.
The Philly is the better team. 1-3 Titans
Yep.
at 2-2 Cardinals.
1-3 Titans at 2-2 Cardinals.
I could see the upset,
This
but
could
I'm
be.
inclined to say Arizona.
Yeah, I do think we need to give the Titans a couple wins that we probably wouldn't otherwise, because like Cam Ward, if we're assuming he's gonna be pretty good, but I'd probably be inclined. Yeah, we can say Cardinals win.
And I think we've basically settled on Arizona being fourth in the NFC West anyway, so that kind of tracks.
Yeah.
Although, if we give Seattle a loss here, they'll have the same record. So, 3-1 Buccaneers at 2-2 Seahawks. I would say Buccaneers win that. I think they're just straight up
I'd say
better
so
team.
too. Yeah. Yep.
4-0 Lions at 2-2 Bengals. That's gonna be entertaining.
I did consider that for my upset spot, and I don't think that's an unreasonable upset spot.
I don't think so.
Bengals.
It's gonna be a
win,
high-scoring
yeah.
game. The Lions are obviously the better team, but when you have an offense like Cincinnati's, you can outscore anyone on a good day.
Right. Like the Lions like defense, I feel like their secondary isn't like the greatest necessarily.
For what
So you
it's
could have
worth-
like literally like
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say the Lions are the only remaining undefeated team right now.
right.
Do
So
we
yeah,
wanna
I
end
guess
that
we
at
could
4-0?
say that's fine. Yeah.
So Bengals win. Yeah, and you were saying the Lions secondary is a little suspect. I would probably
Yeah,
agree.
like that. So I could see like Jamar Chase having one of his like 200 yards and 4 touchdown games in this game.
That game needs to be a Sunday night football game because that is must see TV.
It does. Yeah, totally. That is going to be a fun matchup.
I'm looking forward to that. 2-2 Commanders at 3-1 Chargers.
Commanders at 3-1 Chargers.
I would honestly lean Chargers. I think their defense is good enough to contain Washington's offense, and I think the Chargers are going to be able to move the ball on that defense and control time of possession. I feel like the Chargers are the type of team that's beat to build Washington, you know?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there. Yep.
It's just weird to see Washington at 2-3 right now, but they're still going to finish pretty strong.
Yeah.
3-1 Patriots at 3-1 Bills.
I thought about this for my upset pick, but then I'm like, are we really going to have the Patriots be 4-1 by beating Buffalo in Buffalo? Like,
feels wrong.
this is intriguing. This is the perfect like Sunday night football game when they're both 3-1.
For sure.
I actually can't wait for that. It's gonna be so fun. I think the Bills are just the better team, and they'll probably like there will be a lot of hype around the Patriots, and rightfully so. But they'll probably just like smack them and like show who's like king in the AFC
I mean, the
East.
Bills are so good that there's a fair chance that they're the team we put in the Super Bowl in our predictions.
Right, that's true.
Like, spoiler alert,
Yeah,
but um,
and I was
anyway,
also just kind
that's
of
true.
move ahead. I was also considering the Chiefs Jaguars as the upset, but then I'm like, do I want the Jags to be 4-1?
We keep throwing the Jags out there
Or no,
as
so
that
are they
team.
2-2 or are they 3-1? Sorry.
They're 2-2 right now. Chiefs are 3-1. Jags 2-2.
Okay, I didn't realize. Oh, Chiefs are 3-1.
Yeah,
Okay, I did forget we had them lose a game.
yeah. I think we had Baltimore
I don't
beat them
know.
last week.
They just like they just Chiefs win. Just they're the better team. Yeah, unless
The
we want to make it
Jags are still
interesting with the
leading
Jags.
the South.
That's funny. At 2-3, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
nuts.
guys, the Jags and the Titans are all at 2-3. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
All right, let's
Week
move on.
6,
Week 6. I don't even know
Philly.
what up. I didn't even.
Oh man.
That's
Well, we'll know when we see it, I'm sure, because we got Philly at New York Giants. It's Philly, right?
yes,
2-3 Broncos, 0-5 Jets. We're going Broncos, I would assume.
yes.
3-2 Rams, 4-1 Ravens. I would lean Ravens.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'd probably agree with that.
Okay,
But I think I
2-3
decided my upset, by the way.
two and
But,
three
okay,
Dallas upsets 4-1 Carolina.
totally right.
I mean,
All right,
they've got our
anyway. Now,
number, so if you want to say that, I'm okay with it. But I'm gonna defer to you on this one.
is this 2-3 Cowboys against what Panthers?
4-1 Panthers.
4-1. Yeah, okay, little reality check. Yeah, I think Cowboys win that one.
Yeah, they got our number. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, 2-3 Cardinals, 1-4 Colts. Give it to the Cards.
Sure. Yep. Colts suck.
Yeah, 2-3 Seahawks at 2-3 Jaguars.
Haha, Jags suck too. We'll say
Nice.
Seahawks win.
4-1 Chargers are gonna beat the 2-3 Dolphins. I would assume.
Yep. Yeah.
1-4 Browns at the 2-2 Steelers. I would say Steelers.
Yeah, probably. This could be an upset spot, but yeah, I'd probably say Steelers win.
Right, those NFC North division games are always fair upset spots. This has turned
Yep.
into a really interesting matchup because we have the 4-1 49ers at the 4-1 Buccaneers. I'm gonna go Tampa. What about you?
Ooh. Yeah, let's do it. Tampa. Tampa for the win.
Tampa for the
That's
win.
that's gonna be a noon game, which will actually be crazy. I feel like we'll have people saying like, "Oh, this should be prime time." Like,
Yeah,
how
that might
could
get
it be?
flexed
But
at that
yeah,
point. I mean, jeez.
yeah.
Oh, the Patriots are winning again this week. Nice. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. 2-3 Titans at 3-2 Raiders.
2-3
Raiders?
Titans at 3-2 Raiders. Raiders, I guess.
That's a weird matchup. That could go either way.
Yeah.
3-2 Bengals at 3-1 Packers. Oh man.
3-2 Bengals at 3-1 Packers. I guess the Packers.
They're a more complete team. And they're at home, for what it's worth.
That's true.
That works
Yeah.
for me. 3-2 Patriots at 0-5
This
Saints.
is my upset spot.
No.
Saints get their first win.
No. Fine.
Patriots are 3-2, right?
Not anymore. They're 3-3 now.
Yeah, this is the upset. So we want the few wins or couple wins, if that, we give the
It's
Saints.
gonna cost the Patriots a playoff spot in the end, I bet.
Totally would. But yeah, I'm saying that's my upset.
All right. 4-1 Lions at 4-1 Chiefs. Jared Goff
Oh.
2-0 against Patrick Mahomes.
Let's make that 3-0.
Let's do it. 4-2 Chiefs. The Chargers now lead the AFC West.
Crazy.
4-1 Buffalo Bills at 0-4 Falcons.
This could be an upset spot, but I feel like the Bills are just no. Yeah,
Good.
I
Good call.
did forget that. Yeah, yeah. Bills win.
I
I
love
wasn't gonna
the Falcons
predict
are in the
two
basement
NFC.
here at 0-5. That's not supposed to happen.
Right, that is funny
We're gonna have so many angry Falcons fans. I'm here for it. There's
for
no way they
real.
actually start 0-5, but that is what we have so far.
Yep.
Uh, ooh, amazing rematch of last year's fail Mary or Hail Mary, I guess, but fail for Chicago. It's 2-2 Bears at 2-3 Commanders.
Do Bears at 2-3 Commanders. So
Yeah,
if we assume that Ben Johnson's all that and they win, then we're like, are the Commanders like just bad? Like, I feel like we gotta have Commanders win, just kind of like even things out, and just makes more sense with like what we think of the teams.
yeah.
Um,
Them
but
starting
we don't
two and
necessarily
four
think,
would be wild, you know.
yeah, and we don't necessarily know. Like, I know maybe individually, you or I might predict the Bears make the playoffs. But we don't necessarily like
It's not like we
know that
think
they're
they're
gonna
gonna
be
be NFC
good.
champions or anything.
Right. So I don't think it's unreasonable to have the Bears at 2-3. It's 2-3, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. And that brings us to week 7, starting with the 3-2 Steelers at the 3-3 Bengals. I'm probably gonna have them split the series anyway, personally. What about you?
So that would mean I forgot who won the first game. So
I don't
whatever
think
that
they've.
means,
I
sure.
don't think they've played yet.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I think either way, I mean if they split, I mean
I mean, the Steelers are
these
just the
Steelers went
anti-Bengals anyway, so it's like, you know.
right. Yeah, anti-Bengals. I mean Steelers win the early game cuz you know, is kind of get their footing, like the losing record sort of not losing record sort of like trend continues. So yeah, I'm
Sure.
fine saying Steelers.
Okay. 3-3 Rams at 2-4 Jags.
Mm, maybe we give the Jags a brief moment of excitement. I don't know.
I would.
Wait, what are the
I would
Jags
probably. They're
record?
two
What's
and
the
four right now.
Yeah, Jags suck. Well, Rams win.
Good. Maybe the 2-3 Texans are gonna run away with the division now.
Right.
1-5 Saints get beat up by the 2-3 Bears. Yep, sounds good.
3-3 Bears
Yep,
at
yep, yep.
that.
2-4 Miami at 1-5 Cleveland. Major draft implications here.
Totally.
Probably
Tank
another
Bowl.
Miami
Um,
win.
Sure, I guess. It's in Cleveland. Is it in Cleveland though?
It is in Cleveland, yeah.
Tough. I might be inclined to go Cleveland.
It might depend on who the quarterback is in this game, honestly.
Right.
Which that's impossible to
For
predict
either
when they
side.
have 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for Miami
I
too.
don't know. If you think it makes more sense to go Miami, I'm totally fine with that. But it's in Cleveland. It's cold. Tua can't really throw. Well, we don't even know if Tua's gonna be
I'm
playing in
okay
that
going
game. But
Cleveland, and this could be where Mike McDaniel really feels the heat on the coaching seat.
yeah, for sure. Right. I guess also something we could consider is like sorry, but I guess we could also consider like if we like fire coaches like hypothetically, because then I would assume that they just kind of tumble. But anyway,
Yeah,
sorry, what's
this would be a
next?
prime spot for McDaniel to be fired or soon after.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I was kind of laughing because next is the 4-2 Raiders at the 4-2 Chiefs, and I'm just laughing because they got the same record.
That's funny. I feel like that's gonna be so overhyped.
And
The
then the Chiefs
Raiders
are
are gonna
gonna
be talked
beat them
about a
by
lot.
several scores.
Yeah, I think so. I'd probably say, yeah,
Yeah.
Chiefs win.
Yep. 4-2 Eagles facing the 3-2 Vikings. I assume Philly wins that.
Yes, I'd be inclined to say that.
I think they usually beat Minnesota.
Yeah, that's true.
4-2 Panthers at 0-6 Jets. You got to give us that one.
Yeah. Jets are on the Arch Manning, train.
Exactly, they are. They're tanking for him, and then Arch is gonna say no. Anyway, uh, yeah, that's gonna be the reason Arch plays another year in college. He doesn't want to go to the Jets.
Right, that would be
That would be really funny.
totally.
Only the Jets could have that
That is.
happen.
Oh, the Mike Vrabel revenge game.
That's tempting. 3-3 Patriots at 2-4 Titans. I mean, you
So
gotta.
what's tempting? The Titans winning or the Patriots?
I was tempted to give it to the Titans and have the Patriots go on a little skid, but I don't feel like that's
Mm.
super realistic when we both think the Patriots
Well,
are
I mean,
pretty good.
we did say we should have Cam Ward win a couple games. He shouldn't necessarily win, but I also do feel like though, I feel like Vrabel's gonna be motivated for that game. I feel like I don't disagree that we should have the Patriots like go on a little skid at some point, but I think for this game I just think the Patriots.
I mean, this is
probably
whichever
win this
quarterback plays better, honestly, and I think we're both inclined to say Drake May is going to outplay Cam Ward.
Yeah. Also, just one other point I need to make: Titans suck.
There you go. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. 1-5 Giants, presumably led by Jackson Dart, taking on the 3-3 Broncos.
I feel like Jackson Dart would get destroyed by that defense. Yeah, I give you Broncos.
Probably. 1-5 Colts at 5-1 Chargers.
You could make this a random upset.
I was
Not
yeah, I
like
was gonna
my
say, this is
main
like
random upset.
Anthony Richardson legacy game against the Chargers here because it's the Chargers.
Yeah, I feel like it'll randomly happen. Like, I mean, yeah, yes, Colts suck, but we don't need to make them like finish 1-15 or 1-16 or anything like that. So
Yeah, we need to give
I'm
them
probably
just
saying
enough
Colts
wins
win.
to miss out on all the top quarterbacks. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That is how it will go.
All right, and that yeah, that's a good point. I'm okay giving the Saints a few more wins, by the way.
Yeah.
I either want the Saints to go 0-17 or win like 5 games and miss all the quarterbacks, but
That would be funny. Yeah, worst case is they win a couple, but they still get their top pick.
yeah. Hey, the Pacers won game 1 of the finals tonight, which good for them.
Nice.
Good for Indianapolis.
Good for them.
Indiana.
Yeah.
That whole region. I think that's noteworthy because we were talking
Yep.
about that a little on the server.
Right. Yes.
Anyway,
Good for them.
did we say Colts upset the Chargers? Is that what we're going with?
Yeah.
Okay. Now 4-1 Packers at the 3-3 Cardinals.
So this, for no particular reason, is my random upset.
Yeah, Cardinals win.
Cardinals win.
Kyler Murray goes
Yeah.
berserk right before a video game
Yep.
comes out, probably.
Oh, that is true. That's probably
It's
probably
around
like
that point of
XP
the year.
weekend. Oh my god! Wait, gotta look. When? Gotta look that up. When is XP weekend? Oh, is that for Call of Duty? Call of Duty.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, there's no specific information about XP weekend and Call of Duty happening in October. What date is this? Is this October yet, or is it still?
Week
Well,
7?
it wouldn't be September.
I'm gonna have to go to ESPN to find that.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have the dates
7.
on it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is a little annoying.
Okay, it's in October. We're mid-October in week 7.
Yeah. I mean, not that really matter. I mean, I'd still say like Cardinals. It could also be a game where Kyler Murray struggles and they still win somehow, but yeah.
Well, it makes the NFC
with
West
that.
more interesting because now they're only a half game behind the Niners, who are, they're playing the
True.
winless Falcons. So, goodness, Falcons are getting beat up on here.
Right.
I promise you, I did not intend for that to be the case. I guess they just have a
I know.
really tough schedule.
That would be like, is Penix the answer really, or like if they still have Kirk Cousins, do they just go back to him? Like those intriguing questions.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcons are not an 0-5 quality team. I do believe that. They're closer to 7
I think
wins, in my opinion.
think they're better than that. But they got 5 primetime games.
Yeah, they're not going to be 0-5, and this is going to age really badly, I'm sure. But, yeah.
Right.
Well, before we
All
get to
right.
that game, we have 3-3 Commanders at 3-3 Cowboys. Oddly intriguing match.
3-3 Cowboys. I didn't realize we had them
Yeah.
this good. If I'm saying Commanders win, they kind of get back on track. Cowboys aren't all that good, so I think that makes sense.
Yep, that works for me. And now we have the 0-5 Falcons at the 4-2 49ers. And this is weird,
On
but
Sunday Night
this
Football.
wouldn't be This could be one of those super random upsets as well. But we did already have the 1-5 Colts beat the 5-1 Chargers. So
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine. If we think the Niners are this good and the Falcons somehow just. Because, I mean, if you're 0-5, you'll probably be 0-6, just statistically. So I'm fine just saying. Or I'm fine either. I'm fine either way, really. Like, if you just want to put another upset on the docket, I'm cool with that as well.
I'll give the Niners the
'Cause then you
win,
can
but we got to
wait,
give the
so
Falcons some wins at some point.
Yeah, because then, like, the Saints could be in last place. We need
Yeah.
to make sure the Saints are in last.
Yeah, because the Saints are getting last in that
Not the
division.
Falcons. Right.
Two very interesting games coming up. Why are the Falcons 0-5? Oh man, welcome to the stream. So let me go read you the Falcons' schedule real quick. And first of all, they probably shouldn't be 0-5 and now 0-6. That's kind of absurd. We didn't mean for that to happen, but we're picking this one game at a time, and that's what we have gotten to. I'm pulling up their schedule right now. They play the Buccaneers, and we gave the Bucs the win. They play the Vikings, and we think the Vikings are the better team. They play the Panthers, which we've said that regardless they're gonna split anyway, so we gave the Panthers the win there. I don't remember what our reasoning was. Oh, as of right now, the Panthers are actually the odds-on favorite in that game for what it's worth. Then they play the Commanders, who are better than them, the Bills, who are better than them, and now the 49ers, who we have starting 4-2, now 5-2. So the game against the Panthers is easily the most winnable one that they have. And they aren't even favored. Like, I'm looking at ESPN right now. They are underdogs in each of these games. They're not favored until they play the Dolphins in their next game after this. Week 8, I assume. That's actually wild. Their schedule is that tough. They're underdogs in all of these games. So it's not... It's actually not that ridiculous of us to say this about Atlanta. I think we're going to be wrong, but we're making reasonable picks. They're about
your
to go
other comment. We are predicting upsets. We have a system where we are collaborating on upsets, but I also just have a policy to where like every week I'm just picking a random upset and I don't have to explain it. So like this week I picked like Cardinals upset Packers. I don't have to have any like logical reasoning as to like why, but like there's some like Jags upset.
And
I picked the Saints upset. So yeah,
Colts over Chargers this week too. Like, it's just random.
Okay.
Whatever we feel like.
Yeah, for sure. The Jets. Yeah, we do think the Jets will suck.
And the Jets basically have the top pick wrapped up at this point.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's go. Are we on the did we pick the Falcons to upset the Niners?
I think we went with the Niners, but we are going to have to give the Falcons a few more wins in the coming weeks.
Okay,
they have some coming up. They're
going
to beat Miami probably.
Yes.
Okay, 5-1 Bucs at 5-1 Lions.
Oh.
I know we like the Bucs.
I guess Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if I like him that much.
Right. Like him so much that they're number one in the conference? Probably not.
Yeah. Right. Super Bowl Bucs. Just watch.
All right, 2-3 Texans at 3-3 Seahawks. Really intriguing matchup here. You guys can fall to 2-4 and you'll still be in first in the AFC South.
That's funny. Oh, can I handle as being 2-4? It is in Seattle though, right?
It is in Seattle, yeah. I feel like
do you have a way to see like what our upcoming games? Yeah, do you have a way to see what our upcoming games are? I just want to make sure if we have some like layup games coming up, I feel like I'm fine just saying Seahawks win.
All right, let me check your schedule real quick.
Yeah.
Houston. So after you play Seattle, you have the 49ers, Broncos, but then you get the Jags, Titans. The only layup games the rest of the year are your divisional games.
Man, what's their Seahawks 3-3?
Yeah.
Okay, since in honor of our Seahawks fan being in the chat, and since we're both kind of here, I'm just gonna flip a coin, and y'all are just gonna have to trust that I'm doing the right one.
Okay.
So Sudoku or black hole, whatever. Just say heads or tails.
This is the best way to decide a game.
I'll give you like 30 seconds, and if I don't hear a response, I'll just do it. So I don't know. He may or may not be watching.
He might have picked the perfect time to leave.
Right. So we have Seahawks, then we have Niners and Broncos.
Yeah, that is a tough stretch right there.
That's tough. Yeah, we could just. I think we have some easier games coming up later in the season. You pick heads. Okay. Coin flip. It landed on heads, so Seahawks win.
Okay, 4-3
We'll just suck it
Seattle.
up. Okay.
Why
Yeah.
not them?
2-4 Texans. Is that right?
That's right, leading the AFC South. 'Cause
Oh my
why
gosh.
wouldn't they be?
Wait, that's fun. Wait, is that actually show on the stream? That is funny. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We
It's got them in the
saw-
playoffs as the 4 seed. Fantastic.
All right.
Bravo.
Great. Let's go. Are we on? We're about to be. Yeah. Let's go to week 8.
This is week 8, so we start with 3-3 Minnesota at 5-2 Chargers. I would lean Chargers. I think they're more solid overall. I trust their quarterback more.
Yes. I probably agree with that.
Okay. Yeah,
Totally.
definitely. 2-5 Miami at 0-6 Atlanta. I think we got to give this one to Atlanta. They're due for a win,
Yes, I would agree with that.
and we've got Miami kind of collapsing here as well.
And sometimes if I just say like yes, I agree with that, just not really thinking. I'm trying to look for the upset. I'm trying to look for my upset pick.
Fair enough. My upset pick is
Ooh.
coming up. I'm gonna pick you guys to beat the Niners here. I think it's gonna be my upset pick.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
for now.
Okay, I think I found mine.
Oh, okay. Okay, 3-3 Bears at 5-1 Ravens. I could see an upset, but I'm not gonna
Uh,
predict it.
yeah, I think I'm fine just saying Ravens win.
5-1 Bills beat us by a couple touchdowns, and it's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it generates the score, so we're not doing that. Although I would gladly take an
Yeah.
18-16 loss to Buffalo. That works for me. Jets
Right.
0-7 Jets are gonna get destroyed by the 3-4 Bengals.
Yep. Same old Jets.
All right, do you have any thoughts on the 5-2 Niners at the 2-4 Texans?
We're desperate. Maybe the Niners are like a little bit inflated as their like as far as their like wins and like confidence. Like I'm just gonna say like I think we have to win this one because we lost the Seahawks game. Like if we had won the Seahawks game, I'd be fine saying like we lose this game, but
Mm-hmm.
I also do think like we did have the Niners win a lot of games earlier, so I think Houston.
I think this is
I
an
think so
upset. It's
say,
just it writes itself, kind of. Feels
yeah,
right.
this isn't my like random upset pick, but I think this is a
It's
good
mine.
upset spot.
I think these teams are supposed to
Right.
come into this game with similar records, not opposites. But
That's
ooh,
true. Yeah.
2-5 Browns at 4-3 Patriots.
I considered that briefly for my upset, but I decided not.
Sure,
Patriots are 4-3, so we'd have them 5-3. I mean,
I'm okay with that.
although, do we really think the Patriots? Are we just gonna like
I think part of
wake
it with
up
the
and the
Patriots
Patriots?
is they've had a really light schedule overall, so they're getting some wins
Yeah.
that it's mostly schedule. Sort of like the Niners.
Right. I mean, if we think the Patriots are better and we'll just win, I guess that's fine. But
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah, I'm cool with that.
Patriots win. 1-6 Giants at 5-2 Eagles.
Hmm. This could be another upset.
That random divisional game upset, right?
Yeah, let's just say it. And this isn't my random pick, but I'm just thinking like Giants probably need a couple wins.
The Saints
The
have
Saints
one win.
winless, not everyone win. And
Unfortunate.
it was my executive decision. If it weren't for me, they would be Owen whatever.
Who did you have them beat again? It was somebody good.
The Broncos? I don't know.
I don't. Hang on, I'm gonna have to check their schedule now. But it was like
Yeah,
I didn't think it was. I mean, I would be disappointed if
like
it
the
happened.
Broncos or Cowboys
I feel like it was
or
somebody
something.
better. Let me check their schedule and maybe I'll jog a memory. Did you have
Yeah.
them beating the Bills?
No. No way. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, that
So
was week
I
4.
had them beat. Okay, so not the
Nope, it
Bills, not
wasn't the
the Giants.
Bills.
I think
Thank
it
goodness.
was the Patriots. I
Okay,
think it
they
was
were
the
they were
Patriots.
winless after the Giants game. I remember that. It might have been the Patriots. Yeah, it was the Patriots.
I think it
Nice.
was the Patriots. Right.
Okay. All right. Oh, if not for that, the Patriots would be 6-2 right now. So good call,
True.
probably.
Yeah.
All right, and we said
Yeah.
Philly wins. The Bucks are going to beat the Saints, I assume.
Yes.
3-4 Cowboys lose to the 4-3 Broncos.
This is my random upset of
Ooh,
Cowboys win.
Dallas wins. All right, I'm cool with it. Oh no, Houston's going to
Yep.
have company in the AFC South because somebody has to win between the Titans and Colts. Somebody has to go to 3-5.
Make this the tie. No, no, no. We don't have to do that. That would be so convenient though.
Right.
I guess so. They have the same record. What's their record again?
2-5 in both cases. I would lean
Who
Titans
sucks
just
more?
because they have
Yeah, I
probably the
think
better
Colts suck
quarterback.
more. So I probably would lean Titans too. Yeah, I think so. Colts might objectively be better. I'm not. We might be overvaluing a little bit the whole like Cam Ward thing and assuming he's good, but
I mean,
no, we
I'm
won't do.
assuming
But
that
there
he's
was
going to be
another
better
thing,
than
which is
Levis
that
at least.
no, this won't be a tie. But we did have a thing where Isaac is just gonna randomly pick a tie at some point. So
Don't
he
worry.
hasn't done it yet.
Yeah,
So
I'm waiting. We're gonna figure it out.
I'm picking the absolute random upsets. Isaac's picking the tie.
All right, 4-2 Packers at 4-2 Steelers. I assume we're going Packers here.
Ooh.
More complete
Yeah, I'm
team.
fine with that.
Oh,
Packers
but it is
and
the
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers revenge game if we are assuming he's on the Steelers.
Oh my gosh, it is.
That would be
I
amazing.
feel like they'd still lose that.
Yeah,
I feel like
probably.
Rogers and like revenge games doesn't do that good. I don't even base that off of like I feel like in all these like narrative games, like Rogers just kind of like doesn't do well. I don't know. I don't know why I say that, but
I mean, I still think the
he
Packers are
doesn't.
just better, so.
Yeah.
Okay, 4-3 Commanders at 5-2 Chiefs. Oh yeah, I think the rookie
I can
quarterbacks are all
see.
going to struggle this year for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I
Uh,
probably agree with that.
Chiefs win.
Yes. Oh, we're already on next week. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
week
picked
9.
my
We went through that
random
week
ups.
pretty fast. Washington would miss the
No. Yeah.
playoffs as of now, so that's noteworthy.
Yep.
Um, all right. So we have 6-1 Ravens at the 2-6 Dolphins. So Ravens are gonna hang 50 on them. Probably not
Yep.
really, but they're gonna win.
Really.
Ooh, 3-4 Bears at 4-4 Bengals. I feel like that would be a fun game.
Oh. At the 4-4 Bengals.
Yeah, Chicago's gonna score.
I'd be inclined.
I don't doubt that.
I'd be inclined to say Bengals.
I would too. I think they're gonna outscore Chicago. I don't think Chicago is that good.
Yeah.
How is New England 5-3?
I think highly of them.
It's more
And
so
also,
that
I guess they had like
they've had an easy schedule, comparatively at least.
yeah.
3-4
We
Vikings.
do think the Patriots are like not necessarily like 12-5, but I think they'll win like 9, 8, 9, 10 games, something like
Yeah,
that.
they're gonna start taking some losses.
Right.
This
Sorry,
is
where are you at?
intriguing. I'm intrigued by 3-4 Minnesota at 6-1 Detroit.
We're thinking upset.
I'm tempted, but also the Lions are just better. We saw it in both games last year when they had Darnold playing pretty well. And I don't think JJ McCarthy is going to come in and be better than Sam Darnold.
I know. Doggy.
Dog. Dog.
Camera shy. Hey Bell. I think Bell will oh come on.
That special
Bell,
guest
you're supposed to
appearance.
sit on my lap. Right. Um here's Bell.
Awesome.
And here's the other dog just licking my arm. But Bell, say hi. You're on Football for Fun.
Dog.
All right. Anyway, uh, yes, dog. But I don't know. I'm literally fine either way. Also, I disconnected my mic. Not that really. Y'all probably don't notice. I don't think it really makes
Yeah, I
much of a
was.
difference. But
We didn't lose you there, so nice.
yeah, we could say Lions win.
I think Lions
They're
win. I'm
better.
probably gonna have them sweep Minnesota again.
Yeah, I
I'm
probably would say
tempted.
so. That
I'm
makes
tempted to give
sense.
Minnesota a win. Anyway, Panthers at Packers. I don't think we're winning at Lambeau Field.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to say the Packers win that game.
4-4 Denver at 3-4 Houston.
Mmm.
Y'all aren't
Tough.
scoring much on Denver. I know that. Or I don't know. I feel pretty confident in that. But are they gonna score much? I mean,
I don't know.
you guys were better than the Chargers last year. And the Chargers were better than the Broncos last year. So last year I would have picked Houston for sure. Now we come over to this year, I think you guys are going to be improved. I also think their defense will be improved. I don't know about their offense though.
I mean, I think it's the type of narrative where you probably yeah, probably. You
Yeah, I think it's
probably
random.
we started 2-4 or whatever. So I feel like this would be natural where we go on like a little run. So we beat the nine, and these are both home games, right? The Niners and Broncos.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I think it makes sense to say Houston wins.
Yeah, if any of the year 2 quarterbacks have a slump, it would be Nick's. I think I
True.
think he gets the ball out fast, but other than that, I didn't think he did much that was really special.
Right.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I was never a Knicks guy.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fair.
Houston wins. Denver falls to 4-5. 1-6
Hmm.
Atlanta at 5-3 New England. I'm tempted to go Atlanta here too.
Yeah, I think they just need the revenge from that Super Bowl. Um,
Oh
after
yeah,
all
now
that.
your mic does sound different, by the way.
Oh, interesting. Well, it was plugged in for a second. But yeah, I think we gotta keep the Pats in check a little bit, and then give the Falcons some wins so that the Saints can be last for sure, like clear last. So I'm fine saying Falcons win.
Okay. 5-3 Niners at 1-7 Giants. I would assume Niners.
This for no reason is my random upset this week.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have the rest of the
Isn't
NFC
there
West
like a
catch up.
narrative like Jackson Dart could be building a narrative like is he suddenly good, but then it like disappoints a little later. But
Oh
yeah.
man. Oh, the 49ers fell to the bottom of the West just like that.
Oh, that is crazy. Okay,
It only took
I'll try to stop predicting Niners upset losses.
I mean, we don't think they're elite, so it's not too wild.
Yeah, it's fair.
2-6 Colts lose to the 4-3 Steelers.
Yes, I would assume so.
6-5 Chargers at 3-5 Titans. Chargers win.
Yep, sounds good to me.
1-7 Saints at 4-3 Rams. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy at all either. Any NFC West, however it shapes out, I will not be surprised. I could see anything happening in that division.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with you there.
Rams are gonna beat the Saints, right? Unless you're gonna pull an executive order here.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, well, that's the only way.
I already did
Saints
my
win
one
games.
executive per week. Right.
Okay, Saints are going 1-16 then.
Yep, confirmed.
2-5 Jags at 4-3 Raiders. Do we have the Raiders go to 5-3? They're in the playoff picture right now. Like they are up there. I think that's a fun story.
I mean, do we really think that highly of the Raiders? I think this could be. What's the Jags record?
2-5.
Jags suck, but 3-5 wouldn't be like out of this world inconceivable.
Right.
I'm fine giving the Jags a win.
Sure. 6-2 Chiefs at 6-1 Bills. I want to say that the Chiefs win this game, and then I'm gonna give the Bills revenge in the playoffs. Kind of flip
Sure,
the narrative
that
of the
works.
past, where the Bills win in the regular season and lose in the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, that seems to make sense.
All right, 4-3 Seahawks at 4-4 Commanders.
I don't know. At 4-3, 3-3 Seahawks.
How good
at
is
4
that
I guess
Seattle defense, and can they stop Washington's offense enough to win? I think that's the key matchup there. Because I think Seattle's going to be able to score probably enough to keep
Yeah.
up, but they don't want to shoot out, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm fine either way.
I'm
Maybe
personally-
Commanders are a little better. Not
Yeah, I would
exactly
lean
sure.
Commanders. I think they just have more firepower. I trust Jaden Daniels over Sam Darnold in that matchup. Somehow, 4-3 Cardinals at 4-4 Cowboys. Somehow they both have 4 wins, and somehow one of them's going to get to 5 wins.
Yeah, that is nuts.
Whoops.
Also, I think Sudoku was saying that like something was not crazy. I might just be saying stuff like that's crazy or whatever. I'm just like zoned out.
I think he
'cause
was
it's,
talking
like,
about the Niners
on
being
it.
last in the division,
Oh yeah, I got
and that's
you.
why I was saying we
Um,
wouldn't be surprised by any of these results.
So Cowboys versus Cardinals at Cowboys.
Yeah,
I guess Cowboys.
5-4 Dallas. They are
Cowboys
they're
might
in the
be
playoff
back.
picture. What was that?
Yeah. I was saying Cowboys might be back.
Oh yeah. Well, they are tied for that last spot in the playoffs. Well, it's 5-4 Washington, 5-4 49ers, 5-4 Panthers, and then they're
Yeah.
5-4 as well. So a lot of 5-4 teams here competing for those spots. Of course, we're on the outside looking in. What did our tiebreaks? Why are our tiebreaks bad? Ugh. Anyway,
Okay, I'm trying to help decide my upset. Can you give me the AFC East standings again?
6-2 Buffalo, 5-4 Patriots, 2-7 Dolphins, and 0-8 Jets.
Cool. Great. All right, proceed.
Okay, 4-4 Raiders at 4-5 Broncos. Denver wins.
Broncos, I guess.
Yeah. They should be the better team. 2-6 Falcons at 2-7 Colts.
At some point, you gotta use your tie.
Yeah, I'm
but,
gonna use it at some point, but I think Falcons are
okay. Yeah,
definitely better.
I just didn't want you to forget.
We're beating the Saints.
Who sucks more?
We're beating the Saints. We're 5-4 in this
Yeah.
timeline. Okay, we're beating the Saints.
Oh, sorry. No. Oh, sorry. I thought you already. I thought you were on the Falcons Colts.
Oh, I gave the Falcons the win.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Falcons
No,
are
that's
just a
sorry.
better
That's why I
team.
was debating. Yeah. Panther. Yeah, y'all beat Saints. Yeah.
Oh.
Go do your thing.
I thought you were talking
totally
about us.
fine
I'm
with
like, dude, we got 5 wins here. We're not that bad anymore.
that. Yeah. No, you're good on that.
Bears beat Giants. Get them to 4-5.
That's not my random upset, so sure.
Are y'all beating the Jags? Y'all are at home.
Yes, Jags suck. We also lost them, so we have to beat them.
True. Tyler Shuck, 500-yard passing game. Yeah, that's against New England.
Alert. Random upset alert.
Miami beats
Bills,
Buffalo, and they're on a
Dolphins.
skid. All right.
Yes.
I can get behind that. Oh, man. What is happening to Minnesota? They're 3-5, and they're playing the 7-1 Ravens.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, that could have been an upset. It could be an upset.
Could be, but also I have a hard time seeing the Vikings, even last year's Vikings, being the Ravens felt like a lot to ask.
Yeah, it would have. I mean,
I would go
we can
Baltimore.
say Ravens. Yeah, I'm inclined to say that too. We'll just.
Man.
I think we're just assuming that Minnesota sucks or is not that good.
I think they've just had a really tough schedule. They're going to bounce back, but something to keep an eye
Yeah,
on.
you would.
Yeah. 2-6 Browns, 0-8 Jets. This might be where we just give the Jets a win because we got it at some point.
Sure, I'm fine with it. Yeah, against the Browns, it would happen.
5-4.
Is this where
Patriots.
Stefanski gets fired?
Probably, yeah. Oh, that's
Gotta
true.
pick
We
the
gotta give them
Ravens.
some. We're gonna give them a loss to the Browns at some point, probably.
Yeah, I do need to consider the Ravens as one of the random upsets. I'll file that away.
Yeah. Tampa's gonna beat New England probably.
Yes, but what are the records again? I'm just curious how
5-4
close this matchup
Patriots,
is.
6-2 Buccaneers. So the Pats are going.
We'll have
on a little
7-2
bit of a
Buccaneers.
skid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that.
4-4 Cardinals at 4-4 Seahawks. I like Seattle.
Okay, some
better,
intrigue.
but,
I like Seattle too.
Yeah, I think we established earlier. Cardinals are probably our last team in the West.
Yeah.
5-3 Rams at 5-4 49ers. First place on the line, I think. Yeah.
Right. Rams at Niners.
Yeah, I think we had the Rams win earlier in the season, so we got to give this one to the Niners, right? We had them splitting.
I think so. We also did kind of have the Niners going to skid a little bit, so I'm cool with that.
Okay, 7-1 Lions revenge game against the 5-4 Commanders.
Sure.
I don't see Dan
well,
Campbell losing
Lions,
a revenge game.
right. I don't think he will either. Yeah.
5-3 Steelers at 7-2 Chargers.
5-3 Steelers at 7-2 Chargers.
Chargers?
Yeah, I'd say Chargers probably. And Steelers are still like above 500, so
The
we're
Steelers
chill
are what
there.
they are every year. We're doing well on them.
Yep.
6-2 teams. Philadelphia at Green Bay.
Philadelphia at Green Bay.
I feel like
Oh,
Philadelphia
this is
kinda
two
has the
6-2
number.
teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. I think this is where Philadelphia. So they did start 2-2 though. So we're just having them win like 4 or 5 games in a row or whatever. But yeah, I think Philly would win this one.
That works. Revenge game for attempted tush push ban. Right. Definitely.
Totally. That is true. Yeah,
Alright.
that would be funny.
We're in week 11 now.
All right.
1-8 Jets at 5-5 Patriots. I assume Patriots.
Yeah, this could be an upset spot, but I would probably say Patriots too.
Yeah. 5-5 Commanders beat the 3-7 Dolphins.
Yes.
We got to give the Falcons this one because we had Panthers win the first game, and they have to split. So
Mhm.
Falcons on a 4-game winning
Right.
streak here. You're welcome, Atlanta fans.
Yep. Falcons on a 4-game winning streak. Wait, really?
Yeah, they were 0-6. Now they're 4-6.
That's crazy. Okay, go ahead.
7-2 Buccaneers at 6-3 and skidding Buffalo Bills.
Ooh.
Wow.
I feel like you guys like go Buffalo.
I feel like Buffalo wins.
It would be crazy if Tampa won. Well, I feel like if Tampa won, we're just like, is Tampa just the best team in the NFC?
Yeah, they're
Like, not
they're
one of
up
the
there
best.
with Detroit for sure.
Yeah.
I think this year's big three is
but
going to be Philly, Detroit, and then Tampa. It's the one. Those are the big three, and then everyone else.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I think it does make more sense to go Buffalo.
Works for me. 8-2 Chargers at 3-6 Jaguars.
But what if I made this my random upset? I feel like this. Our Chargers are what? Did you say Chargers are 8-2?
Yeah. Like
I
they are.
think
They
we'll be out.
currently they're a half game ahead of the Chiefs in the AFC West.
I say reality check. Jags suck, but they can have random wins. They can win that one.
All right. 4-5 Chicago, 3-6 Minnesota. Minnesota lost their first meeting, so split.
Yeah, sure, that makes
6-3
sense.
Packers. They're not losing to the Giants, right?
No,
Packers win. Bengals,
Right.
Steelers. We gave the Steelers the first win, so Bengals get this one.
yep.
Texans at Titans. 5-4 Texans, 3-6 Titans.
Titans suck. Yeah, I'd say Texans. And I mean, I know we'll probably lose some random division games. So I did have us lose to the Jags in week 2 or 3. So
Right.
I think we'll take care of our division. Otherwise, we'll be 4-2 or 5-1 in the
sure.
division.
Okay, 6-4 Niners, 4-5 Cardinals.
This could be an upset, but it doesn't have to be.
It
think
keeps
Niners
the NFC West even more tight if the Cardinals win, which is funny. But I
Mhm.
don't know.
Yep.
I say we do that just to make it interesting, honestly. The Niners are going to lose
Sure.
some divisional games,
Yeah.
and I feel like they've done pretty well so far.
Yeah, let's
5-4
do it.
Seahawks, 5-4 Rams. Winner leads the division.
That's intriguing. The Cooper Cup revenge game.
Let's do it. Seattle wins.
Sure.
Seattle in the playoffs now. Ravens
Yes.
lose to the Browns for no reason at all because it's time. The Browns always
Yes,
pull a division.
that was my executive decision upset.
Nice.
Ravens losing to Browns. Yeah, I did think we'd be in agreement on that.
7-2 Chiefs at 5-5 Broncos.
I guess Chiefs win.
Yeah.
Go to 8-2. They're one of the best teams in the NFL.
8-1 Lions, 7-2 Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, that's a good matchup.
Right. I'd give it to Philly. I was prepared to do that last year if they played as they're the more complete team.
Yeah. I'm fine either way. Maybe we need to put Philly in a little bit of check at some point.
Yeah, they're gonna
But-
win this game and then lose pretty soon after. We're gonna have to give them a
Right.
loss to Dallas soon. Speaking of which, Dallas 5-4 at 4-5 Raiders.
We just say Dallas wins and goes on a run. Although I do keep forgetting they have Brian Schottenheimer coaching them. I don't know if they're gonna be that good.
Yeah, this might be a
But-
letdown spot for them, and the Raiders bounce back with a win.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense. I think Raiders win that one.
Yeah. That brings us to week 12. Ooh, 7-3 Bills at 6-4 Texans.
7-3 Bills at 6-4 Texans.
I'll let you take this one.
7-3 Bills, 6-4 Texans. This is this is a Thursday night game. I think we probably lose. I want to say I think we win. We did beat them last year, but they'll be way better at this time of the year this year. It is at home, but we have lost some like devastating home primetime games. Mainly like the Lions game comes to mind. But yeah, I think Bills would win that game, and we're still like, I mean, we're what 6-5 at this point, so I'm not even too worried about our record.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Ravens Jets at Ravens.
What are their records, just so I know? Like, I can
1-9
laugh.
Jets, 8-2 Ravens.
Sorry, for some reason it was silent when you said the Jets record. Are they what 1 and whatever?
Yeah, 1-9.
1-9 Jets, 8-2 Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, the Jets are trying
Give
to
me those.
outtank the Saints right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Give me the Ravens.
All right. 5-5 Steelers at 4-6 Bears. I assume Steelers to keep them above 500.
Say Steelers. Yeah. Let's just make sure they're above 500. Don't go below.
Yeah. 6-5 Patriots at 6-4 Bengals. I would lean Bengals.
I would lean Bengals too.
Yeah, they're still 2
Forgot
games
about
behind the
upset.
Ravens in the North, but they're keeping up slowly.
Yeah.
2-9 Giants at 8-2 Lions, who are coming off a loss. I assume the Lions would have no mercy on them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
4-6 Vikings at 7-3 Packers. Honestly, I feel like this is an upset spot. The Vikings are coming on their way up, and the Packers are in a good spot here.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. Yeah. What's the Vikings record at this point?
They're 4-6. Yeah, we're gonna pick the playoffs too.
They'd be 5-6. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like that's about
I feel
right
bad
for
saying
them.
this in front of the Packers fan here, but it feels like an upset spot, and the Packers are gonna win the second match up. I believe. I think they split, but
Yep.
sorry, man. Colts get blown out by the 8-2 Chiefs. Opposite records here.
Yep. Colts.
6-4 Seattle at 3-7 Tennessee. I promise
sorry.
I'm not picking on chat, but
Sorry.
this feels like an upset spot too. Like,
Sorry,
Seattle-
so this was actually my executive decision, random upset, but Titans win.
Why are we like this?
Right, we're so mean.
The two people watching
Your
were picking
fan.
against their. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. 4-6 Jaguars at 5-5 Cardinals. This is another one that I was thinking like. Just somehow
Like
the
as an
Jags-
upset.
I don't even know if it'd be an
Yeah.
upset at this point. I don't think they're that far apart. Anyway,
Oh, sorry, are you saying? So you're saying the Jags win or the Cardinals?
I'm thinking the Jags win.
Yeah, I'm fine with
And
that.
they're right behind you guys in that race. And as to why we think Indy will be so bad, it really comes down to quarterback mainly. We're not
no
believers in
quarterback,
Richardson,
yeah.
and we're even less so believers in Danny Dimes. So we assume the offense is going to be not so pretty. And I'm pretty sure their offensive line has gotten worse as well because of losses in free agency. And then that defense, there's not really a ton to love about that defense, in my opinion. I think they're going to be
Yeah.
in for a rough season. True, that's valid.
Yep.
That's definitely worse. Okay, 3-7 Browns lose to the 5-5 Raiders, I assume.
Yes. Right. I think that makes most sense.
8-2 Eagles at 5-5 Cowboys. Are we gonna have them split? Say the Cowboys win this one for no reason.
Yep. Cowboys are 6-5.
Yeah. Falcons 4-6 at 1-9 Saints. Give the Falcons their 5th consecutive win. That'd be a fun story to watch objectively.
That would be funny. Yeah.
Can the 0-6 Falcons rise up and make the playoffs? Because they're only one game out of the 7th seed right now.
That is funny.
7-3 Tampa is going to beat 5-5 Rams.
7-3 Tampa beats 5-5 Rams. Makes sense. I mean, you could even it out maybe a little bit, say Rams win, but if we think the Bucks are that good, I'm fine doing that
I
too.
think they're definitely better than LA. Oh gosh, Monday Night Football evenly matched apparently. 6-5 Panthers at 6-5 49ers.
Panthers at 49. I would easily go Niners.
Easily,
but
wow.
I think wait, what's the Panthers record?
We're both 6-5.
Oh, 6-5. That's a little worse than I thought. I thought you were like something crazy.
Oh,
like,
no, we've been pretty reasonable.
Mm,
I mean,
I
I'm trying
think,
to compare
Christian
the
McCaffrey-
matchup. I don't know what they're doing on offense against us because they don't have. I mean, J.C. Horner's going to lock down whoever their top receiver is. I believe.
Yeah, just Carolina goes to San Francisco. They have the same record somehow.
Yeah, I know
but
how this goes. The
we
Niners
really-
are going to win. I've seen this story before.
I know you're trying to be all logical about how can they match up with JC or whatever
I
your
mean,
logic is,
logically,
but,
we should be able to contain their offense and keep them to around 20 points, and logically, we should be able to move the ball in their defense, which is not as strong as it used to be. So, I do think we stand a good chance in that game, but I understand.
Yeah, but
Dallas is in the playoffs
sorry.
right now.
That's crazy.
Okay, 7-4 Packers at 9-2 Lions.
Here.
Oh yeah, I plan
What's
to
that?
do that. I plan to do that. I will do that. Saints get a meaningless win at some point.
Right.
Okay, Packers at Lions. What do we think? I think the Packers are winning one of those
Packers-
games this year.
At Lions.
Have they played yet? Did
Sure.
we
Yeah,
already-
we can win.
Okay,
I think they did in like week 2 or 1. I think it was week 1 actually.
I don't remember, but okay.
They definitely do. I know. Happen to know they play in week 1, and we had Lions win, so I'm fine having
Okay.
Packers win.
Yeah, I think they split. So, I think I have the Packers splitting it with everyone except maybe
watching,
the Bears.
right.
Yeah. Okay, Chiefs beat the
Yeah.
Cowboys. I assume 9-2 Chiefs at 6-5 Cowboys. It would be
Yes.
just like Dallas.
Probably the highest rated game in like history, but
Right.
yeah, that would be a win
Ooh.
for the
7-4 Bengals at 9-2 Ravens.
maybe Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
I'm
want to call
feeling
an
it.
upset here. I want to say the Bears upset Philadelphia. 4-7 Chicago at
Let's
8
do it.
Philadelphia. Okay,
Yep.
5
I
and
say we do it
6
too.
Rams. 5-6 Rams at 6-6 Panthers. This is another team we should match up fairly well against. I think we match up better against the 49ers,
I mean,
actually.
I mean, I am fine saying, I did say y'all lose to the Niners. If you want to say you beat the Rams, that's fine.
No,
I
honestly,
guess.
I think we're splitting against the West. We lose to the Rams and Niners, but we beat the Seahawks and Cardinals. Just based on what usually happens,
Right.
I think we do well. I know we own the Cardinals. I think we've had good success against Seattle overall, from what I am aware of.
Mhm.
49ers beat the Browns.
49ers beat the Browns. Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Y'all beat the Colts.
Yes.
1-10 Saints at 3-8 Miami.
Could say Dolphins win.
Yeah, probably. 5-6
Yeah.
Falcons at 1-10 Jets. Do we give the Falcons a 6th win in a row?
That would be a little crazy.
We want to say the Jets throw their top spot here in the draft for now at least, And then the storyline would be, wow,
I don't
the
know. I also do think it
The
makes
Falcons
sense.
lost
Like,
so that since the Saints could have the top pick, and they would get bullied for that.
yeah, do that. Just whatever that narrative is, just do it. That's funny.
Shame on you, Atlanta, giving Arch Manning to
Yep.
the Saints. 8-3 Bucks are beating the 5-6 Cardinals.
Unless that was my random upset
Oh, was it?
pick. Yes.
All right, fair enough then. No questions
All
asked.
right.
We're keeping the West so bound. Oh wait, hang on. San Francisco's pull ahead. Yeah, they
Yep.
used to play basically every year. I remember watching Newton against Russ, and those were the good days. I miss
Mhm.
that. 5-6 Jags at 4-7 Titans. I'm inclined to go Jags, given how well we are having them doing. We're treating them like a good,
that's
not
fair.
great team.
Yeah, that makes
5-6
sense.
Vikings at 6-5 Seahawks.
Maybe Viking or
Sam Darnold
think the
revenge game
Vikings-
though.
yes, true.
This is another one of those toss-ups.
I don't know. Yeah. Let's do another coin flip Sudoku. Heads or tails? Wait a second. There's probably like a 30-second delay or something.
Funny, my gut says Minnesota, but logically I would say Seattle.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Minnesota. I think Minnesota's actually going to be better than we're collectively predicting.
We've
but
only
that's
got
topic
them
for
having
another
this
day.
bad of a record due to schedule, I think. Okay, he called heads.
Well, this is for Sudoku. Oh, heads. Okay, coin flip heads. They said heads. It is heads.
Wow.
So Seattle wins.
Seattle keeping up in the West. All right, Vegas 6-5 Vegas at 8-3 Chargers.
6-5 Vegas at 8-3 Chargers. I guess Chargers go to. Sorry, what was the record for the Chargers? 8-3.
Yeah, we had them lose last week
That's Chargers
to
9-3.
somebody. Remember who?
Yeah.
Well, do we
Okay,
have the
I say
Chargers
Chargers
sweep
win.
the Raiders because they won the first matchup? I think that's reasonable.
I'm fine with that. I mean, Raiders aren't that good.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Okay, 8-3 Buffalo at 6-5 Pittsburgh. Buffalo's just better, right?
Yes, I did consider having that as my upset, but I decided not to. So
Yeah, we all remember that playoff game from 2 years ago.
true.
Yikes.
Yeah.
5-6 Broncos at 6-5 Commanders.
5-6 Broncos at 6-5 Commanders. Maybe Broncos. Just like even it out a little bit.
Yeah, and then all the Bo Nix fans are gonna say that he must be better than Jaden. Blah blah blah. Okay. 2-10 Giants at 6-6 Patriots. Give that one to the Oh! I just realized the 6-6 Jags have snuck into the playoffs as of right now.
But not division leaders, right?
No, they're the 7 seed.
That
Patriots
would be
will
funny
take it
if
from
one of those teams. What that would be fine if one of those teams just joined us. Like we win the division, but one of them just like because we assume that the AFC South's only getting one team. They may not.
We're low in Washington, not necessarily, but they've
We
got
are
a much tougher
relatively
schedule
low
this time
in
around, and I don't think they've improved that much in the offseason. So I do think they're going to take some losses.
Yeah.
We're basically not overrating them like we believe a lot of people are. We're
Mhm.
still going to probably have them in the
Exactly.
playoffs, but
yeah, I think Patriots win.
yeah.
Also, maybe like now that's like December, do you just want to do like an overview, like what the standings are,
Sure.
and like going into like yeah.
So as of week 14, we have the Chiefs at 10-2, leading the AFC. The Ravens faltered and blew that advantage they had, and they're 9-3 with the 2 seed. They beat Buffalo head to head, so Buffalo's the 3 seed at 9-3. Houston leads the AFC South at 7-5. The Chargers at 9-3 are the 5 seed, which is tough. 8-4 Bengals are the 6 seed. 7-6 Patriots are the 7 seed. Elsewhere, the Steelers are 6-6, lurking in the playoff hunt. 6-6 Jags, 6-6 Broncos, 6-6 Raiders. So that's the AFC for you. At the bottom of that, though, you have the 2-10 Jets, 2-10 Colts in contention for the Arch Manning Award. 3-9 Browns are there
Nice.
too. Over the NFC,
Yep.
you have the 9-3 Lions leading the conference, 8-4 Tampa Bay Bucks at 2. They held the head-to-head over the 3 seed Philadelphia Eagles, also 8-4. The Niners lead the NFC West at 8-5. Seattle is only a half game back; they're 7-5. The Packers are 8-4; they're the 5 seed. The Commanders, along with several other teams, are 6-6. They have the 7 seed. The Cardinals, Rams, and Cowboys are also 6-6. Panthers at 6-7, right behind them. 5-7 Falcons, 5-7 Bears, also nearby, as well as the 5-7 Vikings. So NFC is really deep. It's really everyone is in the hunt except for the 2-11 Giants and the 1-11 Saints. So there's your overview.
Crazy. That's actually nuts. Yes.
Yeah, and if
say
your team
hi
wasn't
to
named,
the-
that means they probably don't matter much at this point.
Right. Okay. Honestly, I think as long as you name the Seahawks or Packers, then their team probably was named.
Yeah, they were definitely named.
There's more viewers somehow though. So shout out to everyone watching. But
Yeah, thank you guys.
okay. Yeah, definitely.
6 and
We ready to get to
6
week 14?
Dallas. Yeah, 6-6 Dallas at 9-3 Lions.
6-6 Dallas at 9-3 Lions. Like, I guess Lions win. I feel like that makes
Yeah,
by far most sense.
I wouldn't pull an upset there.
Right.
7-5 Seahawks at 5-7 Falcons.
7-5 Seahawks at 5-7 Falcons. You could make this an upset, but I assume the Seahawks would win.
I'm not going to be the one calling it an upset. Okay.
Speechless Peach, Light Bing.
Yeah, that's my name.
Do you know this individual?
Yeah, we met in I think a chess server a while back, so he has no idea what we're talking about
Okay.
here.
That's funny.
There's the hiding one. Yeah.
Right.
6-6 Steelers at 9-3 Ravens.
I'm gonna make that an upset. Steelers
They're
win.
gonna beat the Ravens once, probably with another 5 field goals for no reason.
Right.
4-8 Titans at 3-9 Browns. Hopefully, this is the Cam Ward against Shador Sanders game.
That would be fun.
Either way, I like
I
the
don't
Titans
know.
better.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
They're only 3 games back from a playoff spot.
The Titans? Wow.
Well, they're
that's
5-8,
crazy.
and you guys are 7-5. I assume you're gonna be 8-5 soon, though. You're playing. Oh, never mind. You're
Yes.
playing the Chiefs. Never mind.
No. Right.
Red alert. Yeah,
All right.
33-21.
Hey, I thought you said
is
that.
crazy.
I thought we had like an easy game, but and then I was like,
Yeah, I thought you were doing
Probably
an easy
not.
one. 5-7 Chicago at 8-4 Green Bay. Say Ben Johnson
wait,
goes to
5-7
Lambeau Field and
Chicago?
steals a
Oh,
win.
5-7 Chicago. Okay.
I might have them split this series too,
Sure, let's do it.
because I don't think they've played yet, right? If they have, we get the Packers to
I
win.
don't think so.
2-10
let me just-
Colts at 6-6 Jags. Give it to the Jags at home.
2-10 Colts at 6-6 Jags. I don't want the Jags to have a winning record.
I know
think
you
we need
don't,
the
and it's
Colts.
gonna be really funny when you're both 7-6.
Sure, let's do it. I mean, Jags can win. I don't care.
Love it. 6-6 Commanders at
Pick-
5-7 Vikings. Oh my goodness.
Right. Pick Green Bay. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like our
sorry.
pick
Sorry.
there. They don't like our pick of
Oh, we
Chicago
picked
over
the Bears,
Green Bay.
Yes, because haha, they will split. Yeah. Sorry. What was that? Go ahead.
We got the 6-6 Commanders at the 5-7 Vikings.
Oh, whoever loses is going to be in a really tough spot.
Yeah,
I guess we just have to assume the Commanders are just way more likely to be back than the Vikings.
I would assume
I guess
so.
Commanders.
They don't have that big question mark at quarterback that Minnesota kind of has, because we don't know how good JJ is going to be. I think regardless,
Yeah.
Minnesota is still a good team. Just how good is the question.
Do we have the Jags win?
We did, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Because he did remind me that Jags always win in Indianapolis, so
Yeah,
or in
I
Jacksonville.
don't think that streak
so.
is breaking this year. Not with Danny Dimes
Right.
probably being the starter at that point.
Yep.
I don't know. So Washington wins, Minnesota falls to 5-8, which is probably not right, but it's what we got.
Yeah.
4-8 Miami at 2-10 New York Jets. If the Jets win, then it's basically the Saints or the Colts who get the top pick, which I don't think we want that reality.
Right. No, I think Dolphins win, and we'll stay
We're gonna
consistent
say
to their.
Miami wins. Yep, 5-win Miami
Yes.
goes against our previous thoughts, but that's okay.
Mhm.
Saints get swept by
Yep.
Tampa. That works for me. Yep.
Yep.
6-6 Denver at 6-6 Vegas. Probably a playoff game, basically. I assume the loser's
That's
going to be too far
true.
behind.
I
Well,
assume I'm kind of surprised we have the Raiders do this well. I assume Broncos win. I think the Broncos are just better.
that gives the Broncos the sweep, which means the Raiders probably get swept by that entire division. We cool with that?
That actually would be crazy. Yeah, if you're like 6-7 but got swept by, that's actually crazy.
Well,
but...
they have to play the Chiefs one more time, but they've now been swept by the Broncos and Chargers. So they have 5 of their 7 losses
you
are division
lost-
losses.
They lost 7 games, and 5 of them were division games.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I guess that's how the cookie crumbles.
All right.
Dolphins win in the cold.
Another.
Okay, he does bring up a fair point, but I guess we did predict. Yeah, well, by then, I don't know. We did.
I mean, they usually
Tua's
win one
probably
game
not
late in the year.
playing
It's
it.
just they're bad anyway.
Yeah. And it's likely not Tua playing, because Tua's kind of has the reputation of like not having the strongest cold arm quarterback. But most likely it's gonna be Zach. It'll be the Zach Wilson revenge game. That's how we spun it up.
Sure. That works.
The Zach Wilson revenge game. Yeah.
I mean, we are projecting Tua gets hurt at some point. We're also projecting the Jets are just going to be terrible, so seems legit.
Yeah.
Okay, another playoff game possibly. 6-6 Rams at 6-6 Cardinals. I assume we're going Rams here.
Yes. That makes sense to me.
All right. Oh wow, 8-4 Bengals at 9-3 Bills.
Dang. I mean, I guess Bills. I feel like they're better, and that would kind of separate them.
Yeah. 7-5 Texans at 10-2 Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs will find some like nonsense. He'll have some nonsense calls, and yeah, I think Chiefs will win. Unless I know you're saying like, yeah, it's like some bold prediction that we would beat the Chiefs, which
I'm not
We
going
want
to
to incorporate
on
them.
it. I think the reality
I mean,
is when
yeah.
the Jags and you guys have the same record this late in the year, I think that's way funnier. Don't worry, we're still giving you the division.
Yeah, I mean, well, you don't have to like give it. I mean, it's possible we don't win the division, but
You're gonna earn
that is funny though. It actually would. It would be. I'm gonna be so on edge as a fan if that happens. We have the same record as the Jags in December, like. But yeah, I'd say Chiefs win that game.
All right, we got an intriguing one here. 8-4 Philadelphia at 9-3 Chargers, and I'm gonna lean Chargers, honestly.
Yeah, let's do it. Little upset action.
So, despite us having Washington fall to 7-6, they're only one game behind Philadelphia here.
Who's one game behind Philadelphia?
Washington.
That is crazy, actually.
Week 15 now. Oh gosh.
All right, week 15.
Okay, 5-8 Falcons at 9-4 Tampa.
5-8 Falcons at 9-4 Tampa. Yeah, probably Tampa wins.
Woohoo, end of their season. 3-10 Browns at 6-7 Bears. I'm probably leaning Bears in that one.
Yeah. I think actually here I'll stop doing the like just random executive like because it's like so late in the season you probably have teams tanking. It's just like we'll predict upsets of course, but I'll just letting you know.
Okay.
You haven't forgot your tie, right?
Oh no, I'm gonna put it in at some point.
Okay. I do trust you have a spot. I'm just making sure.
All right, 9-4
All right.
Ravens at 8-5 Bengals. I assume we're not gonna have the Bengals. We had them win the first meeting, right? Or did we have Baltimore win that?
I don't remember. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
But-
our Falcons predictions have been so funny. He's not wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Imagine that actually happens.
That would be insane. Like their whole season is just like a streak. winning
Here,
streak.
We're gonna
losing
have them
streak,
have
yeah.
a 4-game winning streak here at the end.
Yeah, they sneak into the playoffs and then win the Super Bowl.
Right. 8 and 9 Falcons get the 7 seed. Anyway,
Right.
are we going Cincinnati or Baltimore?
Oh, I don't care. I mean,
Man, let me see something.
I'll
If
leave that up to
Cincinnati
you.
wins, that has them leading the division, so that probably means we give Cincinnati
Sure.
the first win.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, Raven. Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
fine
say the
saying
Ravens
Ravens
win. I
win.
think the Ravens win that division.
Yep, that sounds right.
6 and 7 Arizona at 7 and 6 Houston.
I think we win. I think we gotta try to pull away from the AFC South. I don't know what the Jags are doing.
2
Oh,
and
Jags are
11
gonna win.
Jets. Yeah, 2 and 11 Jets at the 7 and 6 Jags. That's a Jags win. The Jets are tanking at this
Yeah.
point.
I guess we're saying I guess the Jags are our surprise team. They're pretty good too.
Right.
It's gonna be so annoying as a fan. Like we win, then the Jags win. Like, oh my
didn't
god.
mean
But yeah,
this.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the memes.
10 and 3 Chargers at 11 and 2 Chiefs. This is a big one because if the Chargers win, they even the score atop the West.
Sorry, I was trying to look something else up. Can you repeat that?
10 and 3 Chargers at the 11 and 2 Chiefs.
I say Chiefs win. I think that's gonna happen.
Oh, he's right. We had the same score in the past 2 games. That's funny. You and Jacksonville both won 16-15.
Oh, that's
And,
funny.
yeah, I guess the Chargers are doomed to be the 5 seed facing Houston.
I guess so. I'm fine with that rematch.
All right. 10 and 3 Bills at 7 and 6 Patriots. We're gonna say the Patriots steal this one.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can
So
say
I
that.
think we've said several times that through the offseason we're gonna have that happen, or I've said that at least.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
7 and 6 Washington at 2 and 11 Giants.
Giants are 2-11 at this point. That's
Right.
crazy.
Feels
But-
wrong.
Yeah, I guess Washington wins at this point. Giants are tanking, or no? They traded. They trade
Well-
their first round.
No, they should still have their first round pick next year, right?
They did trade with us, but I don't think it was for a first round pick.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it was like a second or something like that.
So they should
I was gonna
still
say
have
if we had their first
pick.
round pick, that would be crazy. Yeah, I don't think we do, but yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Commanders win. I think we need to make sure to solidify the Commanders as like a solid playoff team.
Sure. 6 and 7 Raiders at 8 and 5 Philadelphia Eagles.
I guess Eagles win. I think they're just the better team, and like they just,
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense.
Okay, Broncos in a tough spot here. They need to win to keep up with everyone else. They're 7 and 6, and they're facing the 8 and 5 Packers. Broncos at home.
Let's do. Is our Packers fan still here? Why don't we do a coin flip with you if you're still here?
He said for Packers Broncos, Bo Nix throw pick 6 to McKinney. I only just
Right.
saw that.
Well, we gotta do the coin toss. We've done a couple times with Sudoku, so we've got to offer you the same services of a coin toss.
Feels reasonable.
I don't know if he's here. Okay, so do you want heads or tails?
All right, heads.
All right, he says heads. I think it's been like 3 heads in a row, so this is probably unlucky, actually. And it is tails, so it was unlucky. So Broncos, it was Broncos, right?
Yeah.
Broncos win.
I mean, I was pulling for the Packers there. I don't want the Broncos to win.
Sean
It's
Payton's
fine.
the
He's
meanest
the
human
worst.
being ever.
He's the worst. Okay, 10 and 3 Lions at 7 and 6 Rams. I'm gonna say Lions.
Yeah, but unless you want to say Rams, like kind of even things out.
I mean,
Daniel clearly failed probability. I guess I did. I mean, what is it like? If you get 2 heads in a row, it's more likely to be third. Is that the idea?
see, my thinking would be it's probably gonna be tails next.
Yeah, that's just my thinking too. But I guess it is. Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I lean Lions here.
yeah, I'd say so too.
Although if they lose, they're tied with Tampa for the same record. So that they do have to keep winning
Right.
because we have Tampa continuing to win. Panthers at Saints, we win. We're 7-7. We're gonna go 9-8 and miss the playoffs.
Panthers. Yeah, right. That would happen.
I'd be okay with it, honestly. Winning record.
Yeah.
2-11 Colts at 8-5 Seattle. I assume we're going Seattle there.
Yes, we are really having the Colts suck. I actually didn't even realize how much we're having them suck. But yes, Colts suck.
Yeah, we got five teams with 3 wins or fewer. So we
That
got
is crazy.
3-win Browns, 2-win Jets, 2-win Colts, 2-win Giants, and then 1-win Saints. Don't worry, I'm about to have the Saints somehow throw their top overall pick odds. Anyway, 5-8 Titans at 8-5 49ers.
5-8 Titans at 8-5 49ers. I feel like Niners just win.
Yeah.
It could be an upset, but most likely not.
5-8 Vikings at 6-7 Cowboys. This is where the Cowboys season falls apart. Vikings win.
I think that makes sense. Yep.
The Vikings are probably just
It was
better.
our year until for like 2 weeks. Yeah.
Right. 5-8 Dolphins at 7-6 Steelers. I'd say Steelers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Week 16, 7-7 Rams at 9-5 Seattle. I think we gave Seattle the first meeting.
Yes.
So
But I guess we want to split it. Is that the idea?
That's what I've been doing with these NFC West teams. What do you want to do? I doubt
Whatever
Seattle
works.
sweeps them. I hope I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
just say Rams.
Okay.
Let's keep it moving. Yeah.
8-6 Packers, 7-7 Bears. So they hadn't played yet. Packers win. We gave the Bears the other win. NFC
Right.
East possibly on the line here. Philadelphia at Washington.
Sorry, which week are you on?
Week 15. Or sorry, 16.
Oh, 16?
Yeah.
Okay, it must just be out of order for mine.
I didn't skip a week, did I?
What was the sorry, what game did you mention?
The one I just picked or the one that's next?
Either one. I just want to make sure I'm on the right track.
So I had the Packers beat the Bears. And then the next one is
Okay.
Philadelphia at Washington.
Oh, so they're at the bottom because they're not yet scheduled. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I was like throwing off. But yeah, no, sorry, proceed. Yeah, I guess Packers win, which is easy.
Right.
And then
I'm
Eagles and
assuming
Commanders.
Philadelphia wins. They're just better.
What's the
than
Commanders'
Washington.
record?
Commanders are 8-6.
Yeah, I could be inclined to say Commanders win
It would be
to
interesting.
kind of solidify.
Well, hang on. I'm
Make it
curious. If
interesting.
they win, do they pass Philadelphia? Yeah, they would be leading the NFC East. That actually set up Washington and Philadelphia in the
Oh.
playoffs.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, we could just say Eagles win just to like make sure they win the division, but
Yeah.
did Philadelphia win the division, or was it Washington?
Philadelphia
Actually, don't
won
remember.
last year. Washington kind of
Okay.
Philadelphia did refuse to lose last year, and then Washington just kind of couldn't keep up, basically.
I got you. Yeah, I'm fine saying Philadelphia wins.
You're fine saying who wins?
Oh, Philly.
Okay, just making sure. Wow, 8-6 Patriots at 10-4 Baltimore.
Baltimore easily.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. 10-4 Tampa,
Yep.
7-7 Panthers.
You could say Panthers upset. I'm not opposed to it.
Since you said it, I'm cool with it. We're going with it. We're going with it. I am not turning back from that. 10-4 Buffalo at 3-11 Cleveland. Buffalo wins.
And for Buff, yes, easily. Yeah,
10-4 Chargers beat the 6-8 Cowboys.
yeah. Cowboys just on a landslide.
Good stuff. 2-12 Jets at 1-13 Saints. This is where the Saints win. This is the game
Okay,
for Arch
yes.
Manning.
The Arch Manning Bowl. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Somehow the Saints beat the Jets. Tyler Shuck is like, I want to be the quarterback, so he has an amazing game.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
6-8 Minnesota at 2-12 New York. I'm gonna say Minnesota. Also, the Giants
Yeah,
just clean
I'd
house
say-
in the front office this year. Like this is
Yeah,
everyone's gone.
that's
after
true.
This. 12-2
Yep.
Chiefs at 5-9 Titans. Chiefs.
I guess yeah, Chiefs win.
5-9 Atlanta. 6-8 Arizona.
5-9 Atlanta.
Yeah.
6-8 Arizona.
Arizona's falling behind in the West. They'd have to win out to come back, and even then, yeah.
Yeah,
they're not catching
I mean,
up. The Niners
Arizona
are
might
winning
be
this
the
week.
better.
What was that?
Yeah, Arizona might be the better team anyway. If I'm saying Arizona.
All right. Ooh, okay. 8-6 Jags at 8-6 Denver. This is the playoff game. Losers probably out.
Denver. Let's say Denver.
Dude, the 8-6
Denver wins.
Bengals would be missing the playoffs as of now. That's crazy. There's so many 8-6.
That is
teams.
crazy.
Yeah, I think you're actually right about that, which is a shame. Don't worry, I'm gonna give the Saints another win. Don't you worry.
That's funny.
I assume we're gonna say that the Broncos beat the Jags. Actually, I can check the draft order right here. Yeah, it's still the Saints. That's a shame.
Yes, we'll say Broncos beat Jags. Jags are fraudulent. We need to have them in check. But yes.
Yeah. Lions 11-3 Lions beat the 8-6 Steelers.
Yes. I'm fine with
8-6
that.
Texans beat the 6-8 Raiders, I would assume.
Yeah, it could be an upset, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Bengals are going to beat the Dolphins. They're back in the
Yep.
playoff picture. Actually, we have the same playoff picture, well, with the addition of the Bengals now as last year. Or the same teams, anyway.
Interesting. Yeah.
Who's missing? Who made it last year that is missing? It was Steelers? Did they make it last year? I
Yeah.
think they did. Somehow.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
right.
Yeah, they lost to Ravens.
9-5 Niners at 2-12 Colts.
I mean, do we want to give the Colts a random win just to like make their record look a little better?
It would be funny.
Yeah, let's do it. Just Colts win random game. You know,
Why
they'll
not?
probably be like whatever. Yeah, exactly. Why not?
All right, week 17, 6-9 Dallas. Their season's over. They're facing the 8-7 Commanders, who have the 7 seed in the NFC, but they're tied with the Panthers and Rams for that spot.
Yeah, I think right. I think Commanders will be inclined to win that game. They'll be more motivated.
Bummer.
Cowboys are just not really in it.
Big bummer.
So, yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, Lions at Vikings. I think we actually had the Vikings upset the Lions early in the season. No, because I said the Lions are just better. They usually are. The Lions have a
Right.
2-game lead on everyone, so this win would actually clinch the NFC for them.
Oh, but what if they lose?
If they lose, then Philadelphia and Tampa have a chance to win this week and be 1 game behind. Which, let me see who they're playing. Philadelphia plays Buffalo, jeez, and Tampa plays Miami. So Tampa's
just-
winning.
Let's just say Vikings win just to like kind of make it a little even.
Crowd the picture even more. Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, 9-6 Denver at 13-2 Kansas City. Denver is the 7th seed in the AFC right now. But they're a clear 7th seed, it looks like.
Yeah. I'm fine saying Chiefs win.
Yeah. Panthers, Seattle. I think we matched up well against Seattle. I'm sorry. I would give us the win there.
Right.
All right, I don't hear a disagreement, so I'm going to put it in.
Yeah, sorry, I'm phased out, but yeah, I was looking at this comment. Niners choke the division to a 2-12 team. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be 5-12 Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can
don't
explain
do
that. I
Falcons.
want to offer an explanation for what has happened with the Falcons because I actually am surprised with how many losses. I say that as a Panthers fan who likes to hate on them, but if you listen to their schedule, all right, they get Tampa Bay twice, They get a pretty good Vikings team who we had them lose to. They play the Commanders, they play the Bills, they play the 49ers. They play the Patriots, who we think are going to be good. Not amazing, but good. And we've probably been too harsh giving them some losses in these toss-up games. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's not my fault, I promise, guys. But they've had a tough schedule. That's basically what it's come down to. I think we just had them lose to the Cardinals, actually. Which is
Sounds
weird.
about right.
And we had them lose to Seattle, I'm sure. But if you want to go look at the odds, they're actually underdogs in their first 5 games, I think. Let me check. Yeah, they're underdogs against Tampa. Minnesota's a bigger favorite than Tampa against them. They're underdogs to Carolina, which I wouldn't have expected, but here we are. Carolina at home is favored against Atlanta.
I know you love waxing poetically about how bad the Falcons will be, but let's keep this moving.
All right. Yeah, you want to go sleep at some point, don't you?
Yeah, I would love for that. But anyway, yeah, let's we picked Vikings to beat Lions, right?
Yeah, Vikings upset the Lions here. Chiefs win, Panthers win. And then
Panthers. Oh, we got to the Panthers. Oh, these are all TBD. Okay, yeah, I got you. Okay, cool.
All right. 7-8 Arizona at 9-6 Cincinnati.
I guess Cincinnati wins.
Yeah, probably.
Sudoku. I actually don't know. I was just saying Todd Bowles good because like to make a lazy take, but I actually don't know.
I don't even like Bowles that much. I think he's just all right. But I think Tampa's offense is so good right now anyway.
I think he's a good defensive coordinator. Not necessarily the best head coach, but yeah, I don't know that they did much to improve the defense. I'd probably agree with that.
These next 2 games are pretty intriguing. We've got 11-4 Baltimore at 9-6 Green Bay.
Ooh, I don't know. Let's just say Raven. Or I do forget we have a Packers fan in the chat, but yeah, I say Ravens.
I mean, we got to be objective about what we think. So I do think the Ravens are still the better team, and I don't think we're gonna have the Packers fall out of the playoff picture. Although it is really crowded in the NFC, someone good is gonna miss out.
That is true. Yeah.
9-6 Houston at 11-4 Chargers. I'm inclined to say Chargers, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think we've won quite a few games in a row, so I'm fine if we drop one to the Chargers.
And that would lock them in as the 5 seed, which kind of secures the rematch in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. 2-13 Giants at 6-9 Raiders. We got to give the Giants a win at some point.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'm fine with that.
Because the Panthers are good, that's why. No, we're going to lose in Week 18 and miss the playoffs, don't worry.
Right. Yeah.
Pittsburgh at Cleveland. I want to say Cleveland steals a win there, so they stole a win against all the division rivals.
Sure. Just as long as we're not making the Steelers have a losing record.
No,
that's
they're 8-8
fine.
now, and they're not going to make the playoffs. Because I think we both agree they'll somehow be mediocre but miss the playoffs.
Are they going to play the Bengals or the Ravens in the last week? The Steelers, that is?
To be determined. I don't... Okay, I'll go check because I don't even know. They play the Ravens. That's fine.
Yeah, I was having them beat the Ravens. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Okay, 8-7 Jags at 3-12 Colts. I assume Jags.
Let's make the Colts win. I need some
Oh, the Jags.
I need some suckage.
Let's have the Jags lose to the Titans the last week to throw the division chances.
Oh, I mean that's fine if we want to say Jags win, but then lose.
Because you
the
guys
Colts
get the
game.
Colts the last week, so you're gonna beat them. You don't have to worry about the division realistically, but it's way funnier that way.
So we're just gonna have the Colts end at 3-14.
Yeah, I guess that's what we did, isn't it? No, you're right. We probably should give them another win. We'll say they beat the Jags, because I don't think the Jags get 9 wins and make the playoffs. I don't even think they get 9 wins.
Yeah, that's fair.
Tampa beats Miami. No objection.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Patriots beat the Jets. 2-13 Jets, 8-7 Patriots.
Yeah, that makes sense.
2-13 Saints at 5-10 Titans.
Yep.
And who did the Saints play the last week? I'm trying to figure out who to have them throw against. Oh, they're playing the Falcons. You know what? That's funnier. The Titans win against the Saints.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, we appreciate you staying way past your bedtime. Appreciate it.
Yep, for
Much
sure.
appreciated. We're staying past our bedtime too. 10-5 Philadelphia at 11-4 Buffalo. I like Buffalo better, but do you object?
No, yeah, I think Buffalo is pretty good.
I'm calling upset here for more NFC West drama. I'm going to say Chicago beats the 49ers.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 8-7 Rams, 5-10 Falcons. Have the Rams join the 49ers and Seahawks at
Yeah.
the top?
I guess we have Rams win. It gets crazy.
Okay, I mean the
Going
West
into
is crazy. Those
January
three teams are
football.
all 9-7. Somehow my Panthers
Yep.
fell out of the playoff picture here, despite also being 9-7. No, this is wild. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that are 9-7. 2 of them are missing the playoffs right now.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
Goodness. Okay. We'll go through
Alright.
Week 18 quickly enough. Saints beat the Falcons because they don't want Arch Manning anymore. Yeah, Seahawks.
I guess it is
49ers for the
Seahawks
division. I didn't even
49ers
realize
for the
that. Are you kidding
division.
me? Oh man, Sunday
That
Night
is
Football right
nuts.
there.
That would be the Sunday night game. Yep.
That is amazing. I think.
Or sorry, what was the
Philadelphia-
game?
Oh, sorry. Well, next it's I had the Saints beat the Falcons to throw the first overall pick.
Oh yeah, that's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be the Falcons. Yeah, Rams are 9-7
Uh-huh.
too, so they play the Cardinals. You want to go ahead and say the Cardinals upset the Rams, or do you? And what do you think?
I mean, I'm sure I'm not opposed. Are we just making it theatrical, like so that it's 49ers?
I mean,
I'm
I don't
fine
think,
with that,
I don't
yeah.
think the Rams win
Yeah.
the division this year. I think it'll be Seattle or
Yeah.
49ers, so that works for me for what I
I think
want
that's
to do.
fair. Yeah, that works.
Have the Jets lose? Yeah, the Jets lose to the Bills.
Jets-
Bills are 13-4.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
Oh, whoops, wrong team. Bills win. 8-8 Chicago needs to win for a long shot playoff appearance, but they're not going to. It's the 12-4
The
Lions.
Ben
who lock
Johnson
up.
revenge tour doesn't work.
Yeah,
Yep.
Lions have the top seed on the line here, I think, so they win.
Right.
4-12 Browns facing the 10-6 Bengals with a playoff spot on the line for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's not going to choke that.
Yep. Nope.
Let's see here. 12-4 Chargers at 9-7 Broncos. Broncos are in a must-win scenario. Chargers are probably resting starters here because they can't.
Yeah, they are
fly.
probably resting starters.
Wow, Broncos
probably
are gonna
say-
luck out like
probably-
that 2 years in a row. That's not
Yeah.
right. You guys beat the Colts to win the division. Titans upset
Yep.
the Jags because the Jags suck. Somehow the
Yeah.
Titans and Jags only
Yep.
finished one game apart, so that's intriguing.
That is crazy. Yeah. What's the Titans' final record?
7-10.
Okay. Yeah. Not
were-
not bad first season for Cam
we were
Ward.
kind
That's
to
pretty
them.
good.
14-2
Yeah.
Chiefs beat the Raiders, or yeah, they could actually rest starters here.
Yeah, I
They
guess
got
they
the top seed.
could.
Say Raiders
Right.
win just
So we could
because.
Raiders win. Yeah.
Ooh, 9-7 Packers at 8-8 Vikings. I think I had the Vikings win already, so this is going to the Packers.
Wait, which 20-year streak did we end? I actually am not aware.
End of a 20-year streak.
I wonder what 20-year
The
streak we
Jags
ended.
winning in Week 18. Is that it? Is that a streak?
20 year. I don't know if the Jags been around, or I guess they
It
have
can't.
been.
Yeah,
but
it can't be
would
that
actually
though. That would be too wild. What was it? What did we do? This
I don't know.
all looks
Whatever. I
normal.
mean, streaks end. It's okay.
Yeah, we're writing history.
Yeah.
Packers beat the Vikings, punching their ticket to the playoffs.
Yeah, that works.
The NFC is so balanced. Like this year, it's 10-7 is good for the 5 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Jags regular season finale has been won by the home team for the past 20 seasons. Do we have to give it to the Jags?
No, I don't care.
That's
I do
funny.
not give a
Okay.
crap about that.
Okay, Dolphins lose to the Patriots. Patriots get to 10-7. Oh, that boots the Broncos from the playoffs. Oof.
All right.
I'm here for it.
Broncos are out, I guess. Yeah.
Cowboys, Giants. Do we give the Giants another win, or Dallas goes to 7-10 again? 6-10
Uh,
Cowboys, 3-13 Giants.
They probably, I guess Cowboys win.
Okay.
Giants
Hang
probably
on, let me check
taking.
this. Okay, NFC East on the line. Washington at Philadelphia. Winner take
Ooh.
all.
I guess Philadelphia is just the better team, and
Yeah.
we're just predicting them to win anyway.
Washington might be missing the playoffs. That's wild. 9-8 Washington.
Wow, that'd be crazy.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Ravens at Steelers. This is my tie, so the Steelers go 8-1.
Nice. Wait, you planned it that way?
Yeah.
Nice. That's funny.
Hired me
Okay.
to be the
Nice.
scriptwriter. I got
Okay.
this NFL. Now that did cost the Ravens
Okay.
playoff seeding, but who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that gives us Ravens Bengals in the playoffs. You are welcome, NFL fans. Wow. Oh, we
wow.
got
That's
Bills
crazy.
Patriots. Oh my goodness. Okay. No, keep it going. Keep going. Seahawks 49ers winner take all NFC West. Loser probably is out? Question mark. Also, I'll go ahead and put in Tampa Carolina. Tampa's going to beat us.
Yeah.
They're playing for seeding.
So it's like
we're
it's
out.
tough.
That's how you
Niners,
know.
Seahawks.
So who won the first meeting? Do we remember?
I don't remember.
We're going to have to go back through
Um,
that. Because I've been having them split. I don't know if that's how we want to decide this, but I feel like we gave the first meeting to the Niners.
sounds about right. Talk about Eagles, Panthers.
That was a playoff
I
matchup
don't
until
know.
I had us lose to Tampa, which we will lose in the season finale. We're not winning more than 9
Yeah.
games realistically.
Right.
Hang on, I'm trying to find which week that was so I can go back and check what we did. Oh, they played in week 1. Oh. So week 1 and week 18. That's some nasty work by the script writers. Where are they?
That
Okay,
is
yeah, the
great.
Niners won in week 1. But now it's week 18, division on the line.
I don't know.
I mean, I lean Niners personally.
I lean Niners personally too.
I want Seattle to win because no one wants the Niners to win, right? But
Right. And like a good majority of our fan base is Seahawks, but I think we're going objectively.
I mean, I just had my team get booted from the playoffs, so I'm being objective.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's in San Francisco. We're probably just the better team.
Yeah.
Kind of a
Oh my gosh.
point.
Okay.
I think we both kind of have an intuition that
Yeah,
like
my
Niners
intuition
just
says
win.
Niners win the division. That set up a Niners-Packers playoff game, and also Philadelphia is going to play Washington in the playoffs again. Washington somehow still stayed in.
Okay,
The
it's
Rams
fine. Have the
snuck
Niners
in.
choke. We'll make sure the Niners choke at some point.
Oh, for sure. I'm
All
probably
right,
gonna
quick
get that.
bathroom break. You can tell them the playoff stuff. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I've pulled it up here. Wow. That is. I would be pretty happy with these playoffs. Although we might be a little too heavy on the divisional rematches, but who says no to Patriots at Bills, Bengals at Ravens, and then Washington at Philadelphia? Like, these are great rematches, especially Bengals at Ravens. Like, sign me up for that. My initial reactions are to say the Bills win, and then I want to say the Bengals steal that. I'm probably going Tampa, Philly, and Green Bay in the NFC, but that's just me. Can't believe the Rams snuck in at the 7th seed. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
All right, so what's going on?
I was just looking at
so-
the playoff picture. I mean, look at these rematches we got.
What are the playoff matchups?
So in the AFC, it's 7-seed Patriots at 2-seed Buffalo, 6-seed Bengals at 3-seed Baltimore, and then 5-seed Chargers at 4-seed Texans. And the Chiefs have the 1 seed, of course. And then in the NFC, it's 7-seed Rams at 2 seed Tampa, 6 seed Commanders at 3 seed Philadelphia, and then 5 seed Packers at 4 seed San Francisco. The 9-8 teams
Can
in
you
the
say the
NFC.
2-7 game again?
Sorry,
Can you say the 2-7 game again?
the 2-7 game, Rams at Tampa. And those other 9-8 teams that missed the playoffs.
Rams are the 2 seed, or Tampa's the 2 seed.
Tampa's the 2 seed. Rams got the 7 seed.
Okay.
And
Oh,
he was
Tampa's
asking
2
about
seed.
the
Okay,
9-8 team. So the Panthers went 9-8 and missed the playoffs, and Seattle went 9-8 and missed the playoffs. So just our teams, of course.
Right.
Pain. Yeah. So I'm guessing that y'all are gonna have to beat us later in the season to make the playoffs. And I guess we're supposed to not lose to teams like Dallas. But anyway.
All right. Which playoff game is first?
Let's go AFC. We'll start at the top. 7 seed Patriots at 2 seed Buffalo. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, me too. Pretty
Seems
easily.
fair.
We saw the last time Bill Belichick was in a playoff game that did not go well. I know this isn't Bill Belichick, but it's like the Patriots.
Yeah,
and
I was
the
gonna
Bills,
say.
So
And when did North Carolina get to the
Right.
playoffs? Anyway. Okay,
All right,
Bengals
maybe
at
college football.
Ravens. I'm inclined to go upset here, honestly.
I think this is a decent upset spot. I mean, Lamar Jackson doesn't have a great playoff history. Joe Burrow does, so I think
Right.
it makes sense.
You let Burrow into the playoffs, that's scary. Yeah, the Bills do feel like
Right.
the 2 seed every year. So 12-win Chargers playing at the Texans. So it's the same matchup. Texans are basically the same team. Is basically what we've made them out.
Yeah,
to be.
so like, yeah, right. So here's the deal. I'm like sick of us winning the wild card and then just getting destroyed by like the Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, whatever. So
So
I
you
am
lose?
inclined to just go Chargers. Yeah, I don't even know if it's an upset. It's probably not an upset. It's probably the
They'll be
expected
favored
outcome.
in that game. They won the regular season matchup.
They'll be
too.
favored. They'll be a better team than they were last year when they got crushed by us, and hopefully that'll just motivate us to like make some moves and be a better team in the future.
Yeah. Do you want to go do the divisional matchups too, or do you want to move to the NFC wild card?
Let's just do NFC. Let's do wild card, and then divisional. So I'm fine just going to NFC wild card.
Okay, and let me see if I can adjust our layout a little bit so we can show all the matchups.
Oh yeah.
Because we got it
For
kind of
sure.
covered. Yeah, that'll work. It's good enough. Okay. Sorry, you wanted to go NFC?
Yeah, if that's cool with you, just do NFC wild card and then just
Yeah.
go up from there.
Works for me. 7 seed Rams, 9-8 team at Tampa, who went 12-5. I would say Tampa.
I guess Tampa is the heavy favorite and should therefore win.
Yeah, I'm not seeing another Rams playoff run, although people will predict it.
Yeah.
6 seed Washington at Philadelphia. Philadelphia swept them again, and that was after beating them 3 times. So, oh man, that would have if Philadelphia wins, that's Jaden Daniels starting 0-3 against them. I don't know if that should factor.
Wouldn't that be
in.
Owen?
Sorry.
Wait, wouldn't that be
Yeah, 0-6.
6?
Yeah.
06? That would be crazy.
Philadelphia just
This
would
could
still-
be a situation where like Philly's on a little bit of a high and they just get upset by a division rival. A division rivalry, just like it's not gonna be as surprising if like an upset since they know each other well.
right.
I'm fine giving the Commanders upsets to just make it kind of more variation with like the
So are we
teams
going
anyway.
too upset heavy though? Because I was gonna have the Packers beat the 49ers next. Is there such a thing as too many upsets?
is that an upset? Or did
Well,
the
they
49ers have a better
They
record?
have the same record. They just got there differently. 49ers had an easy schedule.
Yeah, I see that. I would see that as like a coin flip. So I don't even know if that's necessarily an upset.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
like
based
upset
on,
is
based
like
on the playoff seeds. Because technically Chargers over Texans wasn't an upset either. That would have been the probability, really.
right.
I don't know. I'm fine
Um,
picking Washington and Green Bay if you are. Although if you wanted to pick San Francisco, that's a
I'm-
whole other thing.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I think having Packers, I probably would have had San Francisco win, but if you want Packers to win, that's also totally fine.
Well, we can debate it.
Washington beat Philadelphia last year in Week 15. That's probably about right.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I forgot about that. You are right, because that was the close game that Kenny Pickett was starting in. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking Washington got swept.
Gotcha.
Yeah, nice. Okay, good that Jaden is not winless against Philadelphia. That'd be sad. All right, we'll give it to Washington here. Pull the upset, and then Packers 49ers. I was gonna say Packers. I think they're the better team.
Oh. Yeah, no, I think I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and we got some good playoff matchups here though. So AFC divisional, it's 6th seed Bengals at the Chiefs.
Ooh.
I kind of think upset. I'm not putting the Chiefs in the Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
at some point the Chiefs will not make the AFC Championship. It's against Joe Burrow. The same referee team is not there anymore. So yeah, I would be fine saying that too. Bengals upset Chiefs.
Man, we're gonna upset so many Chiefs fans. I say that a lot now.
Yeah.
5 seed Chargers at 2 seed Bills. The Chargers won 12 games. The Bills won 13. So based on record, it's close. But I think Buffalo is simply better.
Yeah, it's in Buffalo. I think it makes more sense for Buffalo to win.
Yeah. 6 seed Washington at 1 seed Detroit. I assume the Lions get revenge.
Yes, I would assume so too.
You were saying Bills get revenge on KC in the playoffs. That's true. I did say that earlier.
Well.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I didn't realize I was going to end up having the Bengals play the Chiefs, because I think those are the two teams that would beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
I mean, they just get revenge by going farther, I guess. But I guess, yeah.
And they can make it to the Super Bowl without beating the Chiefs, I guess.
It'll just be like one of those years, like, yeah, it'll just be one of those years where like they just don't make it. I was trying to think of like one if there was a Patriots dynasty year where they like got like lost early or something like that. But it's just one of those.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Right.
5 seed Packers at 2 seed Tampa. Winner plays the Lions.
5 seed Packers at 2 seed Tampa. Wow, so either of those teams will be in the NFC Championship.
I'm happy with.
We've kind of gone upset heavy already. So the correct result would be Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Or the expected result. Yeah, I'd say Tampa.
All right. 2008 missed the playoffs at 11-5. Was that the year that Brady was injured?
I think so. 08, yeah.
That sounds right.
I think that was the year after the whole 07 Pats like shebang, yeah.
Yeah. Haha, Eli Manning. Anyway.
Right.
So AFC Championship, we have 6 seed Bengals at 2 seed Buffalo Bills. I'm taking the Bills.
Yeah, let's do it.
NFC Championship game, 2 seed Tampa at 1 seed Lions. I would go Lions.
Let's make a Bills-Lions Super Bowl happen.
We're predicting it here. I think that's what we previously said when we did our mock draft, our future mock draft, where we had to predict where the teams draft. So we're staying consistent there, at least. Who do you pick in the Super Bowl, though? Buffalo or the Lions?
Probably Buffalo.
Oh, man.
It's just hard because like neither of the teams have ever made the Super Bowl. So they kind of both have a perception of like they can't win the big one, but now they're both in the big one. So it's like
somebody has to win.
I mean, Lions might have a better team on paper, but I feel like I don't know. I just can't see either team winning the Super Bowl, but one of them would in this scenario.
You see Josh Allen just going superhuman and carrying Buffalo to the win.
Is this just the ultimate coin flip? I guess we can just do a coin flip.
I would be happy with either result, so I'm okay with the coin flip.
Okay, so do we want to say, let's just say Bills heads and Lions tails?
That works.
Bills heads, Lions tails. All right. It is heads. So
the
Bills
Buffalo
win.
Bills. Yeah, call a tie. I wish. Buffalo
Right.
Bills are
If
the Super Bowl
only.
champions.
Yep.
Whew, wow.
I mean, yeah, if it's not the Chiefs, then that seems like a very reasonable result.
I do think it won't be the Chiefs this year. I think they're going to be contending and they'll be better, but they're going to lose to one of those AFC teams. And if not, then I like the Lions in
Right.
the NFC.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. Well, we got through all the games. We've done good work here. Wow, that was a long stream. That was probably longer than we intended, but you know what? What a way to go out.
Yeah.
What a way to go
It
out.
happens. Yeah, for sure. Boy, go. Yeah, if y'all aren't aware, those of you watch probably just Sudoku at this point. Isaac will be gone for like a few months, actually. So I will be trying to hold the Football for Fun fort down. We'll see how it goes. I do plan to have content out. Like I do plan to like maintain it at some level. At very worst, it'll be like a weekly live stream. But I do intend to have like videos and shorts and things like that. So you know, I feel like part of me kind of like, you know, is like kind of wondering if like Isaac fully trusts me to like sort of like just, you know, maintain the channel for those months. But like
You got it.
I think just even like worst case scenario, like if stuff happens in my life, I can't do football for we just go back to it when you come back, and it's just like hopefully we can like build it up. I would be curious, like if we did like an over under, like how many subscribers we have by the time you're back. And I guess this kind of like, you know, kind of depends on how well you how much you believe in my ability to like get subscribers.
I just assume I'm gonna come back to at least 1,000. So there you go.
that would be crazy. Yeah, probably. I mean, I think we'll get to 100 for sure. It's just a matter of like, you know, just 3 more people clicking subscribe. We didn't get any to this stream, right? I don't think so.
Probably not.
No, we're still at 97. Yeah, we're still at 97.
The
So
fans that tuned in
we'll
and
get 100.
didn't like our predictions did not subscribe.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. Oh well. But yeah, I think you know, you know, if we could be like 200 by the time you're back, I'm happy, but
That'd be awesome.
we'll see what happens. Yeah, for sure.
We will see what
But
happens
yeah,
for sure.
no, definitely. But Isaac, it was nice knowing you. Well, I'm joking. I know we'll be back, but
I'll be back.
it was all
guys.
good stuff. You know, he will be back. Don't worry. In the meantime, I will hold down the fort. I'll have some guests on probably. So if anyone's interested in being a guest, you know, just let me know. But you know, yeah, just I can name at least one person who's definitely interested in being a guest. We'll have to see. I have to see about that.
Yeah, comment and guess if you're watching this after the stream.
Right. Yes. Code word. All right. I think it's good to call it a wrap.
Yeah, we're gonna call it here, guys. And I don't know what the future stream plans are because I won't be here. So this is my last stream with you guys. I assume you're gonna go solo next week.
Yes. And this is fun because I get to take over the channel for myself. Yeah, it'll probably be it'll probably still be Wednesdays. If that works for, you know, like viewers and stuff. I probably will make it earlier actually on my own time.
Yeah, you've got more
maybe some of
flexibility
our,
now
like,
without me.
yeah, so like some of our East Coast, you know, contingents could like watch.
Mhm.
I'm also open, like if there's like, you know, a day that works better for everyone, I could like do that. Nice thing for me over the summer is that like I just have less going on socially, so I have more flexibility. But yeah, so I'm hoping my dream sort of scenario like for these like next few months is that like we get like maybe like one short out every day. And then just like maybe one video a week and one live stream a week. I think we can get that level of consistency, we'll be on really good track.
No, that would be fantastic. That would be very consistent.
Yeah, for
hopefully
sure.
bringing in some subs. That's kind of our main
would
problem
be
right now. We're
sick.
not figuring out how to get the subs, but hopefully you figure that out, and I just come
Yeah.
back and watch you gain all
Yeah.
the subs for me.
You'll come back to like a 10,000 sub empire and it's like, Whoa, all
I mean,
right.
can I even come back at that point? Like, I think you got to keep going solo then.
I would let you back. I'm not that egotistical. Like
Oh, I just
now,
mean
if
like
you
for the
came back and we
success of
lost,
the channel. Like if you get it that big on your own, like I might just have to
I
step
mean, I
back a little.
assume it would be fine because I do feel like if I grew that big, it would be kind of understood. You'd be kind of like the long lost brother, and then like you'd finally come back. It's
Oh
like,
man.
I think they would embrace it. But I do see what you're saying. It would be like, it would be tough to just be like, nah, sorry, you can't come on anymore because we're
I
so
think at the very
successful.
least it wouldn't be as much of a co-host thing. I think you would be firmly in the lead at that point.
Yeah, I think at this point I would have more of a like poll, like not that
Yeah.
like
I mean, I'm the one who
yeah,
disappeared
I don't
and then you grew the
anticipate.
channel. So in that scenario, you have first
Yeah,
say.
well, I mean, that's probably not happening, and I don't think things will have to get weird anytime soon.
Frankly,
So
I welcome it if that means
I
we have a
never
bunch
know
of subs.
what's going on.
I welcome that
Yeah, for
scenario.
sure. All right.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, let's
have a
call it
good night,
here.
everyone. Go to bed.
I think everyone
Yep,
already
and
left, but that's okay. Thank you everyone who
yeah,
watched. We appreciate it. It was a long and late stream, so yeah, thanks everyone who tuned in. I'll see you all. I'll be back probably in October, so I'll see you all in October for the lives.
yeah,
Daniel, we'll see you guys
yeah.
next week.
Great.
All
See you
right.
then.
Take care, everybody.
Peace.
Good night.